Hello, everybody. You are watching and listening to the Mary and Joe Show on YouTube and a bunch of other places broadcasted. If you're listening on iTunes, give us a thumbs up, share us out. If you are listening on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. It is the lovely Miss Chronic Chronicles, your host on the Mary and Joe Show, and my two great co-hosts, Marie Tarot 504. Welcome.
Good evening. How is
And
everybody out there?
Toke, welcome.
He stepped away for a
Oh,
second.
that's all right. So we're having a fun little relaxed evening. Today and tomorrow's podcast will be interesting. We're kind of just flinging things around until we do our two main broadcasts, which are going to be the 29th, which is the remembrance of Katrina, and we're going to be sharing our story because we're all from Louisiana here, and that will be quite exciting. And then our awesome broadcast, which we'll be doing on a regular basis every end of the month, our shout out videos and podcasts. So I'm excited about that. I hope you guys are. Should be.
Yes, just what we're tossing around on the daily, what we enjoy to go to, reasons why we like the different podcasts and channels.
Exactly.
I'm super excited. I've been collaborating my list together. I'm sure you have too, Miss Chronic Chronicles.
Exactly. And I'm so excited, and I hope they're listening. We have some great people in the future that are going to be on the podcast, interviewed and sharing their stories, sharing their wisdom, and just throwing things around too. I think we throw things around here, huh?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So I have a long list I want to just share with you guys. It seems long, but it's really not. Just some really great topics we're going to be touching on probably next month. They're getting to the end of this month. And so I'm going to throw some things out there. Please, everybody who's listening, if you're in the comments, oh, I didn't even turn on. Look at me, lazy tonight. If you're in the comments, definitely say hello. Let me pop up and say hi to everybody. Okay.
And this long list of topics is just things that we're talking about on the side and researching. You truly don't know how much goes into a podcast until you're sitting down and doing it. Can you agree with me, Tukiru? You haven't said hello.
Yeah, a lot of days I might be tired or I might feel overwhelmed, but podcasts bring light to my life and hopefully others. And that's why I'm here.
Love it. Love it. Me as well. I am exhausted every freaking day.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I actually heard someone. I will have to find that lovely, funny podcast I listened to, because somebody was saying, I don't really understand how people wait. Oh, it was local radio. That's what it was. Can't share it with you guys, but somebody said on a local radio, I don't know how people wake up and they're just tired. Life's so great. Got to wake up and live. And I'm like, I don't sleep enough. That's just it.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
My whole thing is I always tell one of my best friends, we talk day to day, and it's about our lives and just trying to keep up with the Joneses,
Right.
I guess.
Right.
And when I wake up in the morning, I naturally feel like my worst. I feel like I'm willing to snap on people or be upset. Like, don't talk to me right now, or give me some time. I'm not awake.
My eyes don't focus.
Yeah, like I can't see, and I can't think. Like I'm trying
No
to do
thinking.
thinking. I bend pipes and do measurements all day and stuff, and I'm trying to do these measurements when I first wake up. I need 2 hours truly for my brain to fully be functioning.
So would you wake up 2 hours earlier to have that happen when you get to work?
I think that's my best self, or a better self than I'm currently at, but I love to sleep every second that I can. And then I know these principles that when I wake up, I'm going to be exhausted and be at less potential. But the whole thing is, as I'm going to work, I try and practice these principles, because if it's so real and so valid, then my principles are that the thoughts going through your mind and the wavelengths of your thoughts change your day and everything you
Absolutely.
So I think to myself that if I adjust my thoughts, even if I don't feel them at first, if I start to feed them through my mind like a wire, eventually it becomes like a full circuit.
What a good analogy.
Yes, ma'am. It just helps me out, and I love life.
And I
hated life at one point.
By trade.
Yes. This man knows what he's talking about. I'm going to rack his brain eventually. I'm afraid of plugs. I turn things on off constantly. That's how. Oh my god, I could live Amish. I could totally do it.
I could
Me
not.
too. Wires are scary. But,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it keeps me warm in winter, and you know,
Oh,
I'm an
you be
artist, so
turning
I need
off
light.
stuff.
I do. I really do.
It
I
keeps
turn
me
shit
cold.
off.
It's
I
also the
absolutely
AC. If
do.
anybody's not familiar with that, like it's just everything. You know, it's fully encompassed. I just
I-
loved electricity. Long before I decided to take the trade, I realized that that's my most interesting topic. That's something that I want to get better at. Is how energy flows through different things that we experience, such as our mind, the lights that we turn on when we put our clothes on. You know,
Right.
it's always around me, so I wanted to understand it.
I think at some point, sir, you should let me interview you as electrician, Mr. Toke, electrician,
And
let's have
anybody else
this.
that has some sort of living or some sort of skill set that they practice or studied, I
Mhm.
give them credit too, just for breaking through. Sometimes you feel like things are overwhelming or you don't have the answer to something you're trying to achieve.
Mhm.
But just with study and effort daily, there'll be one day that you just continue to try and something will click in your brain and you'll say, wait, hold on, I get it this time.
They have a story about this. No.
I could imagine.
The little engine that could.
Yeah, the little engine that could, exactly. Like you can, we're all the engines that could, it's just pushing through. Like you don't know what's next down the track. You keep pushing and you try and measure what could be. And so if anybody's going through things in their trade or something, I'd like to hear that too. Or just day to day, just living life as a human. That's a trade in itself, like, or some type of skill set that you have to acquire. Like just
Well,
being human and having feelings. Like it's a deep topic, but it's also something that we all would like to hear about or talk about.
I've for 10 years been trying to master learning, producing, creating music. I don't do any vocals. I only make my own production of music.
Yeah,
But
I
I
love
have taught
music.
myself from literally putting RAM into the computer, which seems like such a small task, which it was when I like figured it out. But like,
Oh yeah, the
when
first
you're like,
time you think you're
yeah,
a
the first time
scientist
you're like, I'm
or
gonna
you're a major
die
scientist.
when I prayed in between actually taking the damn thing apart because I was like, am I gonna
But hold
shock
on, like
myself?
you might be a scientist. Yeah. Oh yeah, scientist.
Right.
You were nervous.
Yes, I
Well,
was.
there's
I
also,
grounded
I believe
myself
it's
as
a
much as I
12
could.
volt power source, so you're not gonna die.
I
But
didn't have the little
it's
thing for your hand. I didn't do the right stuff. All you nerds.
I'm not familiar with the actual power source of a computer, but there's only a few different wires that they use, and there's high volt, low volt, and medium. Or just hot wires.
I mean, I've seen things catch on fire. That's enough. I've been electrocuted in the grass putting Christmas lights up in New Orleans. I've been
Yeah.
too close to things.
Or just
all
trying to
right.
plug in your what's it called, your charger for your phone when you're going to sleep and you
I
can't.
had a washing machine start sparking while it was on.
Oh
And
no.
I don't know how I
Okay,
did this,
back
but I
up because
pulled the
that's like
plug
20
at the
volt if I'm
same
not mistaken.
time to try to. I shouldn't have done it like that. I didn't have
That'll
any
kill
way to
you.
turn off. I did it.
You
I
did.
jumped.
Hold
And
on.
did it.
What type of shoes were you wearing? What
I
kind of
jumped.
gloves?
Flip flops, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
But
flip flops.
the thing was flooding and electrocuting. I mean, like sparking.
Oh, and flooding.
Yes, and I didn't own my house yet. Yeah, it was a whole nightmare. That was when I replaced my washing machine the first time.
Oh my gosh,
that was a rental. Yeah, I was like calling.
So wait, you were playing with the wires in the back of this thing?
No, I was washing clothes in the thing. You know how like a washing machine's, I don't know what the gears inside the bearing or whatever, the wheel broke. The belt broke, and so it wasn't turning anymore. So it was on metal. It was going, it was scary. And the thing was freaking out because it was overpowering itself. And I'm like calling my maintenance people, no joke people, going, I'm jumping to pull this off. I might have died. Come fix it. Get it out of here. Clean my floor up. And
I
then
remember
hung
at
up.
1 o'clock, my water pipe underneath my sink
Holy
started
crap.
leaking water, and I like called the landlord at like 1 in the morning because I know him personally. Like I was like,
Right.
"We got a problem here." Like I
Bigger
tried to
problem.
turn off all the shit I
Right.
thought I knew. Like I turned off all the electrical. That's the funny part.
I've
Like
had
the shit
my-
you think you know, but it's like
I've
something else. It's water from the government.
I had my gas, because I'm a homeowner. I had my gas flame blowout, like, you know, the light to the hot water heater. That's what it was. And I did not know what to do. And I read it. I read it over and over and over and over, the directions, and I freaked the fuck out. And I
Yeah,
called a
that's
friend and I was like sending Facebook videos. I'm like, God help me, you know? All that. Terrifying. It's very scary to be a homeowner. I'll say that shit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it can be scary, but it can be peaceful. It's like the whole like exploration of it. You know, it's unknown.
You want
My
to know?
goal
You want
is
to know a homeowner's nightmare in
Say it.
Louisiana that I had to
Say it.
experience? When one day you start noticing that your ceiling's cracking.
Oh, geez.
yeah.
Straight down.
Over where you sleep, or where was
No,
it
in
happening?
the kitchen. My house was sinking.
Awesome.
Yeah,
There's
the
the
ground.
fun way to
Like
eat.
it was obvious that I
Yuck.
was becoming unlevel. I was
Did
like,
you think about
"Oh."
any drizzling
Yeah,
where you
all
freaked the
around
hell
the
out
world,
from
there's
all
so
of
many
that?
different
Like,
What?
things like that.
was the drizzling from the rain and stuff freaking you out every time it rained and stuff? I would think that.
It
Like
didn't
any,
drizzle inside. No, it was like my actual house was cracking.
it's just,
Like that's really what's happening.
people don't
I'm
understand
laughing,
pilings
like,
in New
damn, that's what
Orleans.
happened.
I mean, it's on Marsh. You don't
But-
remember that?
Yep.
Also,
I
like
don't.
the land we live in now, like even being where we're at currently, it's a drier climate and it's elevated and it's there's still changes in the geography and so
Right.
yeah, your house is gonna shift and change and that's something I wanted to bring up in a podcast potentially in
Yes.
the future or maybe later on today.
Right.
It's just interesting to me that structures change over time and all the energy that comes in and out of it. Is it paranormal? Is it the structure wearing down? Is it a mixture
Right.
of like
Is it the
a mix
ground
of
it's
two?
on?
Is it geographical? Like what
Right.
is it?
Right.
Like
Well, the whole
it's interesting.
right, we're on plates, so like
Yeah.
there's shifts.
Yes.
Constant
And, like,
movements.
if
Everything
you think
vibrates
about
and
it,
moves.
They show proof that at one point all the pieces of land were together and they shifted. Like you could actually, like, if you had a map that did like a digital read, it would put them all back together. Perfectly.
They got that song by Little Dicky talking about.
I love Little
Pangea.
Dicky.
Yeah, he's just a controversial.
Yes,
rapper,
we're going to
I
have to
guess.
feature him.
He's
We're
a
going to
nerd.
feature
for
him.
Sure.
He's great. Yes.
He loves to like think about stuff and learn
He
it.
sneaks
I guess,
wisdom
I
into your brain.
Yeah, and he just mentioned Pangea, and so like the whole song, if y'all want to look it up or something. But the idea is he's hanging out with a girl and he or a partner, and he's mentioning Pangea, and she's like confused, and it throws him off, and it's just like a real
oh
thing.
my gosh. I can't feature the song, but we'll do a clip and do just an episode on him in the future. I just took a note on it. I love Little Dicky. He's great. For real. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different topics. So you guys, you get ready. This is a total token talk. So,
so the Kylie Rodney case. Is
right.
It homicide or
accidental? That's a good
What's
question.
Your opinion?
Now I'm really, really disturbed and think, from what is said, because nothing's clear at this point, we will be reviewing a whole nother podcast.
But was she buckled into the back?
Exactly. I was just going to say that. Like, how do we know what's going on? And there's so much damage to the car. Was it an injury to the vehicle and then, or was someone else driving? What happened? The front window was busted out. The back window was rolled down. Why would you bust out the front one? That's my question.
And
Just
then
saying.
in the back seat.
Right. And the window
you would
is
think
knocked
if
off.
the window wasn't busted when it went into the water, right?
Right.
But the back window was down. She wouldn't have ended up in the back seat from busting the window. First of all, if she was able to manage busting the window. And second of all, the water would have gushed in from the open window, making it very difficult when going underwater in your car's filling up to get in the back seat.
Right.
Do you see what I
It
mean?
doesn't seem right. It's fishy as hell. We're all having that gut. Before we even had this evidence, we all had that gut feeling. So I do think it's a little bit odd. I'll be right back, guys. I have a Chihuahua issue. I'll be back.
Definitely a weird case.
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably play a little mishmash of information. Thank you, UFO Fun. He agrees. It's very interesting. I'm just saying we're not people that want to spread misinformation. We're people that are open to potential non-accidental. That's the way I look at it. Even if I don't did someone else? Were they more intoxicated? She was in the back seat. Someone else was driving. Was she hanging out? Is this from the other party? Who knows? I do find it interesting as well. If you've noticed, the purple-haired lady has went on a whole nother tangent. And Ikmel, he's light is green and blue today. Interesting.
What do you mean a whole nother? I haven't kept up with them
Oh,
at
it's
all.
whole kinds of interesting. We'll have to do a what the fuck episode, okay?
What is she posting? Give us some.
Oh, let's give you a screenshot. I don't think it's worth watching because I don't want to give it the clicks because it really is interesting. Let's put it that way. Let me get it up.
Well, just summarize what your interpretation
Hold on.
was.
My interpretation of it is she wants to take away the distraction of making herself so obviously enthralled with being part of this. That's my opinion of it. Here, I just pulled it up. Hold on. Now, I'm not saying her content's exactly wrong, but you can make a whole nother channel. You want people to come view your crap. Is this a clickbait? Are you no different than Ikmel? If this is all what we're dealing with, it's just disgusting. I've seen better. Anyway, her story's interesting when it comes to this particular one. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
The not all heroes wear. Oh no, the story is us. This one. I only watched it a little bit. But this was interesting because it does actually confirm a little bit. And this one, the first one, about her family. About her family and the Ukrainian thing. It's like, okay, so you say you started this channel for that. Well, good, stay forward. But maybe your name's tainted. Or is this a whole clickbait? Because let's go look at her numbers. She's got 2,000 people. What's it about YouTube we need to know, listeners? 1,000 viewers, subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, and maybe I think it's 400 watch hours allows you to be monetized. Is she about to just play off the back of this little girl? I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
like it. Yeah, it only takes a little tiny pinch to start a channel, people. We will lovely. Did someone else escape car and not save her? That's what I thought. Thank you. Look, great minds think alike.
Thank you.
I thought the same thing. I was like, is this the dealer driving? Is this the guy she met at the party driving? Did he swim away? Does purple hair lady know this friend? I don't know what I'm hearing, it's just too much for and this woman has done nothing but distract. And I'm almost positive, let's look again. Did she take away the video about bull poop? Nope, it's still there. 3 minutes. I thought it was 5. That means she edited it because it absolute was 5. I remember it being 5. I screenshotted the shit out of it. I'll look back on my records to you.
Yeah, I was
She shortened
today,
it.
and there's supposed to be snow or whatever Sunday and Monday, and it's 80-something degrees.
Oh, don't tell me.
And that's
You're
what
having
the news
no
posted.
snow. I don't want the snow.
It was just funny though because like I told everybody for like a week and a half like there's gonna be snow on this day and all that, and they're just kind of like we're like, all right, that's possible or whatever. Time went by and the day came and they're like, well, it's hot as a motherfucker. I'm sweating right now. Like you said something about snow or whatever. No, they didn't believe me, man. And
It's
so
been in
I
Colorado. It's
looked
been
up
snowing.
the
Yep.
what's it called, the screenshot, and it's
Mhm.
literally saying that there's snow on a hot day.
Mhm.
And I was like, bro, and they all looked at it and they're like, no shit,
We get
it's
hail
weird.
here all the time. It's very
Sometimes they
strange.
make mistakes too.
Oh! I was looking for literally freaking 20 minutes the other day, waiting for the little app to change because in Colorado it can be raining and it's still not updated your app. Like it can be
Yeah.
storming, and the bitch is like, "Sunny, no rain for a week. You're dry, zero nothing." And you're like, "Whoa, it's
I
on
used to
my
try and travel home from New Orleans or in New
right."
Orleans, and like it would just be pouring down such bad rain. Like if you're
I
just trying to
love
make it
that
to a
though.
car across the street, you're drenched.
No, I would always go
Heavy
grocery
motherfucking
shopping
rain. Your
and
feet are
then
covered.
at Walmart, right? In like Kenner, maybe the super center at those good old days. And then you get home and your bags are full of water. All your popsicles are wet, everything.
Yeah. If you had like any bread or something with a little hole in it
Right.
for air,
Okay,
it's
okay.
over.
Let's have a conversation about New Orleans and bread. I miss it, but that shit has got an expiration date
Bread
because that
around the
shit
world, I couldn't
fucking
imagine.
I don't
molds.
know. I don't care what anybody says. I love bread from New Orleans.
French
I
bread
I
love
or like
miss the
bakery.
po' boy
croissants
bread.
from there. Yes.
It's like a loaf of perfection.
You want me to
Yes,
treat
it
you
You
is.
do
me?
so much with it.
Let me tell you something. If you have some pistolets, which are like those I don't know, they're pistolets. They're bread, circular bread, sandwich bread you find at Walmart, and they're usually really cheap. Like they're
Yeah,
like a bunch of them. Okay, sometimes they're hard. If they're hard, take a paper towel, put it in some
like a
water,
portion of bread.
right, and then wrap it in the towel and microwave it for 30 seconds, less than that. And you'll
Yeah,
be amazed. It's
rehydrated.
the only way that you can get a French bread taste. That's it, people.
Yeah,
Our
people
bread's
say
like
that about
squash
pizza and a lot
yummy.
of other things. Anything made with bread,
Cookies.
like yeah, it
Oh,
gives it some
the
type
way
of
you said it, Cookie Monster.
possibly even like
Cookies.
potatoes. I'm
I've
thinking
never
like when
done
you get
that.
those fries and they're like super they're just not entertaining anymore
I
after a
like
couple
them in an
hours. You're
air
like, what the fuck is
fryer.
this? Yeah, like if
Take
you
your nasty ass fries that were cheap ass, whatever, I don't care, leftover or dollar store cheap. Go put them in an air fryer. You will thank me. It's amazing. Do you
yeah,
have an
air
air fryer?
fryers are super cool.
Do you have an air fryer yet?
I've had an air fryer a few times, not currently. I sound like an old man.
Marie, you don't have an air fryer?
No, it was at my dad's.
Hey, I have a
All right,
pressure
she's
cooker. Let's talk
adding an
about
air fryer to her wish list, people. Check out in the bio. Please help a girl out. Get her an air fryer.
it. You know, and
Because
I'll
she
start
needs
cooking
to
stuff, or she'll
experience
start cooking
this.
stuff, whatever, and we'll
Let me
talk
just
about
tell
it.
you, I take some tater tots and I put it in that air
Oh
fryer
my
and it's
gosh.
pretty incredible. And then
Yeah, no oil.
oh
It's just
no,
like
let me
it's
tell
perfectly
you,
crisp.
I found, okay, where I'm at, it's hard to find okra, fried okra. I found
Oh
some
man,
fried
I love
okra
okra.
and I put it with some hash browns
It's
and
an
I cooked that in
acquired
the air
taste, kind of.
fryer. Oh, it was good.
Like at first, I feel like
Oh,
okra might make you skeptical, or you might be like, "Do
no.
I like this?" You
So
know.
healthy. It's an addictive healthy. It's good.
I guess it's kind of like vegetables, like
It is
broccoli
vegetables.
with dip or something. You're like, yeah, I like
Yes.
broccoli if I dip
Have you
it.
ever
Yeah, it's
dipped
like
okra in ranch?
fried
It's
okra.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's
And it's in
amazing.
a lot of gumbos and things like that.
I
Whenever
like it
like we spoke
crispy.
about Haitian and voodoo and things, and
Right.
that was part of why gumbo became a thing. It was like a collective of many of different cultures. And I heard, you ever heard of the voodoo Zaps chips?
I
Zaps is
love them. I
also a
love
part of
them
New
so
Orleans.
much.
Yeah, like they're intense, and the thing is like supposedly over like a pot that they were cooking in New Orleans, the shelf fell down and all the ingredients fell in, like many a different
What?
seasonings and stuff, and it created like like I guess a concoction. And the thing is that's kind of what gumbo was. It was like we
Right.
had some rice, we had some leftovers from the crabs, we had some leftovers, like a little bit of chicken and shrimp or whatever. You put everything together and you use the roux, which is
Right.
actually Timothy or Toke roux, whatever.
That's right. That's where it comes from,
Yeah,
people.
there's a few reasons why I came up with that name. Roux, I believe, is also the word street in French, but at one point it was the roux or the ether, the base of things, and
Huh.
it was because they used to use flour, and they would use a little bit of water or oil and mix it, and it would start to turn into like a gravy, and that's what makes
I'm trying to pull up a picture. Let me
that's what
get you
makes
a picture.
the gumbo so good. It turns into something like
It's not
a
good if
soup.
you do a bad job, though, people. It looks like
Yeah,
Burn
ground.
the roux very easily.
yeah. There's a few different ways to do roux, but in reality, you're literally just browning flour, and that's like the big thing in swamps in the back country of New Orleans, which is nothing but marsh.
I
The
like
whole idea,
caramelized garlic and
yeah.
onions. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that's my
and
New
there's also
Orleans
something
moment.
called the Trinity. It's
Mm-hmm.
garlic, which is the Pope, they always say, and then there's also celery and onion,
New Orleans.
and they put it in almost everything.
There you go, people. It's
It's some of
the
the best
green, the
food
purple. It's so
worldwide.
pretty. It's so pretty.
Supposedly, a few different presidents came down to New Orleans just to eat.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean
it's
that was
far
taxpayers'
removed
money.
from
But let's
like
not talk about that
Spanish
part.
food. When I was living in California for many years, you could get like some of those flavors, but there was adding paprika too much or
Yeah,
cilantro or lime. Lime
paprika.
destroys it.
What
It
else?
just
Cumin. Who
yes,
talks
it
about
just
cumin?
I love
Like
I
that's a
love
big
cumin.
part.
Actually, unfortunately, in my personal opinion, I don't think there's enough Middle Eastern food in New Orleans to this day. It's kind of sad. Like, I mean, the cultures came from everywhere. That was a port. Those were like
Yeah,
millions of
that's
different
where it started
cultures.
from, like all the seasonings and things. And I'm sure
Right.
a lot of people might
Access.
know this, but yeah, the spice route or the Silk Road.
The
It
salt
was just like a
alone from Louisiana is insane.
yeah, just everybody that seasons their food in different ways and group it up together. And I guess maybe a port city might be some of the best food because it's a mixture of all the readily available seasonings and things, spices. I guess that's what
I
I meant.
believe they're all under the New Iberia. I think it was I've never been to one, but I think this is the top of it, how it would look. But the underside of it is like something like this, which is just so crazy to understand that they're literally digging salt out of the walls that are
Yeah,
underneath the
some of
water.
these salt mines are, if I'm not mistaken, like maybe 100 stories tall. Like they have chambers that you can walk in salt mines that I believe
It's
are
so
abandoned, and
crazy.
it's beautiful. It's geometrically organized and things.
I
It's
bet you
unbelievable.
that's insanely powerful, even though it's like a
Oh yeah.
distractor from spiritual things. I'm sure it's a major
Think
focus if
about
you're
what the
wanting to go
food does to
internal.
your salt and the food.
Right.
It makes it like reasonable or like
But
makes you
think of your
more like
skin too.
It's
If you
just
have like
wow.
acne, walk into that for a
It dries
moment.
things
Right.
and
Cures your
it does a
face all
lot of
good.
things. It's super
Mummify
powerful.
you.
At
That's
least
what
for
I want. I
humans.
want to be mummified. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, like oh wow, that's
I'm
interesting.
kidding. No, I don't want to. No, no, no.
What
We're
about
good.
cryogenically frozen?
I'm curious. Show me how it works.
Yeah, I know. Like, if they could send the neurons and
I still like the
what's it called,
space until
synapses. Like,
your explosion. Yuck.
it's like neurons reaching points of sensitivity. Like, that's
Correct.
what we are. That's
Are
what
we gonna
everything
have
is.
to do a cure?
Like, what's the difference between a robot and a human? Whenever there's synapses and like what's it called, stimulus and response. Like it's
That's
strange.
it. That's
It
it.
starts to get kind of
Frozen Science is an episode we're going to do in the future. I think the only way it would really work is not necessarily the body, but it is the mind. If like, how like you can keep a heart alive. I just saw a Frankenstein episode that was like an offshoot of the real Frankenstein. And it was like based on it's Lady Frankenstein. It's old one, and it was like the
or Walt
brain
Disney.
No, this
That's
is
a
sick.
crazy
This
dude.
is
Like,
sick
there's
as
a lot
hell.
of things about him, but
Right. We're
just
gonna
that
have
he
to
got a
Walt Disney
project in
episode.
Frozen. They've
Yes.
created the movie Frozen supposedly to, like, when you searched Walt Disney Frozen,
Yeah. I
it
heard
would,
about that.
yeah, there's
We're gonna do an
if that's
episode
an
on it.
obvious statement by that company, then it goes to show that there could, like, there's not could be, but there's a lot of things going on like that.
Right.
Just washing.
No.
It's called washing, in my opinion. That's what I call it. When you
Well,
take
this,
something that's obvious and you try and make it not so obvious.
like, if you think about it, the memories and everything are only in that one brain. I don't think that you could, like, download someone's brain into another person's.
So wait,
I
if
do
so, it's
this.
just like tissue and matter that went through certain type of spikes and stimulus at certain points, and it creates, like. So can we look at the material of the brain, or is it the electricity that we retain from, like, it's questionable. Like, what is consciousness? That's the farthest point that we're coming to when it comes to regenerating or reviving things. It's like, if we can make it, if we can make a, I guess, a vessel mobile again, can it still
Right.
retain, like, or where's the consciousness? Is it the same person or
Oh
a
my
different
God.
person?
Let me
What do
show
they
you
remember or
this.
no?
Let me see if there's a good version of this because it's so fucking good. It creeped me out though.
You get hit in
I'm
your head
selling
hard
it.
enough, and you're the same person. You can forget things, Like, it's
Right.
it's so it's like, did the same person come back and went through trauma?
Right.
Like, is it? I don't know.
Or
It's
is it a
super.
version of the two? Who knows? Like if
Yeah,
you're
it's a
looking at your
mixture, a
hands,
hybrid.
you have a new because
People
that
talk
already
about
happens.
hybridization, and
Like
that
eyes.
was also an interesting topic to me because, like, society, supposedly many of humans are hybrids, so they're not exactly
Right. I was gonna say.
genetics of Earth. They're like a mixture of a lot of different shit. Like, maybe even, like, just wavelengths that you experience and stuff. But supposedly, if there are extraterrestrials that are interfering with us, they
Right.
could have been, like, as I'm saying, interfering with us for millennia or however long, or this and that.
Right. Here, this is the trailer. I encourage you guys to look this video up. It is on YouTube, but I'm just going to play the trailer, and this is exactly what we're discussing right now. It's interesting. Hold on.
Frankenstein. Sarah Bay is Lady Frankenstein. Only the monster she creates can satisfy her strange desires. Joseph Cotton is Baron Frankenstein, the scientist who dared to create a monster. Sarah Bay is Lady Frankenstein. She's beautiful, she's evil, and she'll
The blood
do
is like
anything
tomato
for
soup.
love. She creates a new, more terrifying monster, and only the monster she creates can satisfy her strange desires. No man can escape her web of terror. There has never been a movie like Lady Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Hold on. Let me unmute you guys. The reason I bring it up is that the brain of the man that she ended up falling in love with in this
And when you
movie,
use it, it can move to, like, different parts underneath your blood.
like supposedly, oh wait, did I mess it up? Oh, we're okay. Supposedly the man she loved, she didn't like the way he looked, but the man she falls in love with, she has her husband, she doesn't like the way he looks and tells him in the movie, I found a man that I want your brain to go into, and I will then give my body to you
Wow.
once you do that. So we will not love each other fully until I have your brain inside of him.
So,
Yeah.
when you think about, like, your childhood, like, think of the best times or something amazing that you experienced in your life. As time goes on, we continue to grow. Even the cells on our skin, for example,
Right.
expands, and you're not, like, you don't have the same cells that you were born with. And in
Right.
your brain, especially, when you have say you had the same exact experience with the same exact people, everything was spoken the same way, everything happened the same. With your new composition of your brain, you'll have a
Right.
different experience.
Absolutely.
The same person.
Well, the one thing that was interesting is that,
You can
like,
go back to it. You can just recollect on, or you know.
like if you're someone who is on the donor list for organs, like that's something my mother wanted to do, but she had cancer and hepatitis C, so they would not take it because it's a blood disorder. She wouldn't take her organs, but she really wanted to do that. And I was creeped out because I was like, someone else would have my mother's eyes. And she's like, that's great. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then, I mean, she thought it was wonderful, but like for me in my mind, oh my gosh, so it takes a special kind of person to be okay with like understanding that it could be a human experience. These people look in the mirror and see your eyes for the rest of their life. Take that one in. Take that one in. That's
Wow.
how it's real. And like Oprah's
Or
been
like
featuring this
phantom
stuff.
limbs or whatever, like being
Right.
given a limb or
Like
a heart.
or a spiritual connection to that organ where you end up having weird freaking dreams that you're
The heart is,
connected.
like I was saying, the most electromagnetic, like force field we have.
Right. Organ,
Like
right.
the biggest part of what we do.
It's
So
a conductor for sure.
Does lie inside of something. Maybe it's possibly like the heart's wavelength or something. I don't know.
Well, this movie was so good because it actually used those two concepts you said. It was actually the heart that made the excitement of life. Like if you can keep the heart alive, which is real. And this was 1973 when this video was out. It's crazy. I don't think
When
that
they
was
came out
actually
with
100% capable.
1973.
Yes.
One thing I want to mention is also the military, or
Right.
I could assume like the government in classified documents, they keep them for 20 to 40 years before they release them to the public. Like if it's a finely tuned technology, they don't release it because of like pretty much security reasons.
Right.
So there's things that are going on this earth currently that are finely tuned that the average, or I guess society hasn't been introduced to.
See, can I please say something?
I swear in my head I have the Men in Black song going on.
Well, I know that Marie remembers, or you should. We're old now, but I remember when we used to race cars at Weston. I remember saying at some point these bitches, meaning the cops, sorry guys, but at some point they're going to get upset and they're going to hear me saying things in the car. And I remember like a few friends who were in the car were like, what do you mean? I'm like, they can listen in on everything eventually. So, you're like, when they want to search the car, they know what you said beforehand. Like that's what it is. Natural. What's the word I'm looking for? Your anxiety kicks in right before a cop pulls you over, just in general, even if you really haven't done anything, it just happens. And so to act, what's the word?
Some people don't react like that, which is really wild. Some people
I've never
doesn't go off.
Man, I've argued with cops. I don't know what happens. It's bad. They could do a lot. And those were back in the days.
You can be in like a flight state or let's say fight or flight for years on end. I think that's something that I experienced. I was in a fight or flight state forever, Right. And supposedly it releases things in your blood through adrenaline and things, and there's byproducts of it, and it actually wears down your body. I can't think of the exact term.
It wear down your mental health.
Yeah, it deteriorates everything. You're in overdrive.
Like you have a higher possibility of having
and a different metabolism. Yeah, everything is not as effective because you're in a fight or flight. It's like you're fighting for your life for years, and supposedly bills and things that are pressing on you that you don't have control over. It's a lack of control in your own safety. And
well, kids, 100%. If you're listening to this on a playback one day, make sure you take care of me because I don't remember anything.
Yeah, people talk about like receding hairlines and stuff, and it's like, wow, like when's the last time that you were truly comfortable with what you were doing or what is around you?
You know what? The only thing I got to complain about age is
it's troubling for all of us.
You're what?
I said the only thing I'm gonna complain about age is cellulite. I hate that shit. Like why?
You
Just
know, and
why?
some people love cellulite, so
No way.
each their own, huh?
Who? Tell me. Send them my way. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's the
God.
human body, especially when you appreciate reality. You know, you're like, wait, they're a person.
Okay,
You know, and
appreciate
they're
reality is a good
that's
thing.
the cool
I agree
part.
with that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, tonight
We all have
we're
something going on.
also going to throw in this crazy little game that I have had for a long time. So if you guys are following us on Instagram, Marie Tarot 504 and myself, I like to spice it up here. My channel does that in general. So I've had this game for a long time that I post a picture. It's called Yeah Nope. We're just going to pull a few cards on these type of episodes. We're not going to do the whole deck, but we figure it's a good topic like cleanser and interesting scenario. In the future, when I'm actually on camera, I'll show the cards, but you guys, you got to trust me. We're just pulling topics at this point. So if you want like an idea of what it looks like, go look at my Instagram at the Mary and Joe Show or Miss Chronic Chronicles. Okay.
Side note, Tukiru and I cannot see the cards, so we have no idea what Miss
Right. I could
Chronicles
be
is
making
pulling.
things up. It's very possible. No. I might change it up a little. Maybe. Okay. Here we go.
It's intriguing though.
I have played this game before with friends and like done the drinking version where you're like in bed at the end of whatever subject, but I don't think that's necessary unless you want to. But here we go. Here's the first question. I've slept for longer than 15 hours in one stretch. Now,
Yeah.
here's the question. We'll go around the tiki
Same.
token teepee here moment and give your story. If you've never done it, say nope. If you have done it, say yeah, and then give your story.
I love it. That's
Okay.
cool.
There you go. So have you, either of you, slept for longer than 15 hours in one stretch?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You have?
Yes, I
I have.
purposely woke up and rolled over just to see how long I could sleep.
Right?
Yeah,
Did you
push
go
myself
24?
though.
How
Not
long did you
recommended.
go?
I believe it was around 15 hours when my body just couldn't sleep anymore. I like 12 hours is a lot, you know. Like I think I remember one time I woke up as a child and I had slept 12 hours, and Miss Marie's pops was in the house and he was like, "You slept 12 hours? That's wild." And I was like, "I did," and that was the first realization that I slept beyond like the common amount.
Holy
You know?
crap. I have a crazy story. This is the best part about this game. And I've never pulled this card, so I get to share it here. How fun. So I was asleep for 48 hours because I was induced after surgery of
Yeah, I
removing
don't even know about that. How long I might have been
hold
out.
on, it gets weird. Let's go here. Okay. So I had a spinal fusion and I had it reversed. They took it out. I was asleep because of all the pain meds for a whole 48 hours, 2 days. When I woke up on the news, Osama bin Laden had been decapitated and dropped his head in the water.
Oh wow.
And I thought that they were freaking telling me lies. I was like, wow, these drugs are working, you know? So,
Yeah, like how long have you been asleep?
right.
Like, are
And
you
I've been
still asleep?
asleep 2 days. And I was like, holy crap. Because if you guys remember, it happened really swift. They
For a
talked
long
about
time.
it. It was weird.
Supposedly, in dream states, you can experience time in a different way too. Like, it can feel like
It was
lifetime.
weird. It was really weird. Like they kept telling me I had to wake up to be able to move because I had been asleep for too long. Like
Yeah, you
I
have
needed to,
to go through
because I had a
physical
spinal
therapy sometimes.
surgery. Correct. But my I had a reaction to the what is it, anesthesia, so I was out. I had it was bad. So anyway, weird ass story.
So when you've woken up from anesthesia, because my
Yeah.
experience is,
Some people have never had anesthesia.
is your mind like, get up, I gotta go?
No, it's like,
Mine
why
is.
the
Oh my
fuck am I
gosh.
here? Like
Mine
the
is.
pain
Mine
creeps
is in a total fight or flight. Like I have jumped off the table
I
every
always
single
say,
time.
what did I say first of all, and wait, okay, am I all right from the surgery? You know, I'm in like
Right.
such a low state where I'm just making sure that I'm all right before like I even like, you know, I can't even run.
mine's
Like
to
I'm like,
jump
am I
off
even
the
alive?
table, which
Like,
is actually pretty terrifying. Like
yeah.
every time I'm
Oh.
like, oh God, like I go out like this
I'm in,
isn't
like, a
putting me to
wheelchair and
sleep.
shit.
I'm not
Like, what
going to
is this?
sleep. This isn't working. Like I'm panicked, and I wake up in a panic.
Yeah, it's humbling for me, but I guess everybody experiences it differently, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm finding some good ones here. I'm actually being bad. Here we go.
Oh,
Because this is
geez.
even better. Because this is good questions. I don't know
Darn it.
the answers. All right. So here's the first one. I've gone topless in public. Is that a
Me
yeah or
too.
no? Of course you
Oh
have.
no! I gave myself away. Damn it! Yeah, yes, I did.
You have.
Once
Yes,
or
you did.
twice.
You
I'm doing it right now. That's the crazy
You're
part.
bad. You're bad.
Topless.
Let me stop.
All right.
I
Have you,
quit.
my
Yes,
darling?
I've gone to a nude beach.
I have never.
Topless.
I want to. I have like. I would love to
It's
do that.
completely nude.
Have
yeah.
fun.
The whole thing's
No.
nude. Like everybody.
Topless in public. I have definitely flashed on Bourbon Street and enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, bourbon's fun.
Yes.
It can be.
I never have flashed in Metairie, just so people know.
I
don't
have
come after
actually
me.
never.
Yeah, like
I
in
have
the
actually
random
never
suburbs, you're like,
flashed.
woo!
Like in New
Like, you're like,
Orleans,
what
I
the
have
fuck?
never.
What the heck?
You've never done it?
No.
Why
I really have-
not?
Not
It's
yet.
great.
Honestly,
Not yet.
Shay. I'm not even kidding. It's
Shay.
Shay that I'm referencing. I had an aunt that would do it, and I remember being like, "What the fuck?" Like as a little kid, like not you,
Yeah,
not you
kinda
too.
overwhelming. Like,
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I really like. She's almost a decade older than me, not quite, but it's like
She's a
I just
very fun
really
lady, too.
didn't idolize her,
Very,
but I just like
mature
loved
lady.
her, you know.
But she has
Right.
It was
fun.
just like I didn't have very many. It was on my maternal side, and I wasn't very connected with that side, but she was always very forthcoming, connected to me, and so it was like, oh, okay, that's my Aunt Shay. I'll say it.
It's some shit like you wouldn't even believe what could happen until you see it. And you're like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah.
I broke the barrier. I'm like, what I thought was like, what
It
is
was
Oh
going
weird
on?
because
gosh.
she's always been connected
It's
enough
another
to
day.
know
It's weird.
like she would show up to my a fair if I was all in my feels, about
That's
life,
funny.
as a child, and she would
Right.
be able to sense that and show up. And I mean, or maybe it was something else, but she would always make an appearance when I needed it. And so
Here's a question.
seeing her
You know, I've
do
been
that,
having
I
a
was
lot of
like, not
synchronicities
you, man.
recently because of that.
Anybody
Right.
but you.
Like,
And so therefore,
yeah.
as an adult or as a teenager, I always kind of thought back to that and was like, no. Now, did I get drunk and party with her on Bourbon Street and have some wild, crazy nights with Shay that I'm so glad I can live to tell? Yes,
I mean,
but
some
I
people can't
never
say even-
showed
We're-
my
Yeah.
boobs.
We're gonna have to touch on that, my darling, on
Can
the
you even
Katrina
party
episode, because there's
with your-
always good
with
things
those
to
people?
remind people about
I
Louisiana.
have a blast.
But have either of you,
Be open.
or any of you, or anybody listening? That's a question for even the people listening. Even if you're listening to the replay, definitely leave us a comment. This includes you guys. Have any of you ever invented a cocktail? A yay
Yes.
or a no? Yes?
Yes.
A cocktail?
Share it.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm not kidding you.
I'm
A
from the small. It's
cocktail.
like, hey, we put all kinds of shit together. I just put stuff
Okay, what's
together
your
to try it
favorite?
sometimes.
That you can't order. There's the question.
Cocktails.
Yes.
If we're just talking,
Mixed
let's
drink.
go to the basics. Liquor.
Yes.
I'll mix like schnapps with some type of chaser and stuff. Like
What kind of
I like
snob?
I
A
like doing
flavored
something.
snob?
Yeah, like it's kind of like a vodka, but it's mixed
love
with
vodka.
Flavor.
Like
And it's usually a little stronger.
cotton candy?
Yeah,
Yum.
like flavored, but they're strong, so you usually have to chase them. But then there's also
Not
something I
strong
like
at
called
all.
yeah. Oh, really?
I
What's it
love
called?
vodka.
99 proof, not too strong. Huh? It's like a double shot.
Oh, that's just a little tiny burn.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, watch your esophagus, you guys.
Right? I don't
Hey,
have
but
one.
what
No.
else I wanted to say was I like to mix pickle pickle like
Really?
it's vinegar. Yeah, like pickle juice
Why?
with liquor, and it's called a pickleback. And the first time I heard it, I'm like, "What are you guys doing, bro?" But then I went to the bar and we tried it, and I was like, "Wow, this is actually like a strange experience." I have another one that I can mention.
Please.
One of my absolute favorites, Patron. If you're feeling a little tired or out, they get it from the agave plant, if I'm not mistaken, especially Mexican
Agave is
Patron.
so yummy. I love it.
Yes, you can actually get it from the plant itself by taking the top of the plant off, and at the bottom there's nectar, and that's I believe the original drink. But the thing is some of the most stimulating type of liquors that there are. And so I would mix it with lemon and salt, and it almost tasted like some sort of appetizer or something. It was like a meal, and me and my friends would do it together, and it was, we wouldn't get smashed, but we'd have one or two shots, of Patron, and when we did it, it was like a some type of ceremonial feeling, and we would look each other in the eyes, and there was no words to be spoken because we
I
felt the
love
same way.
that. When I was no, I was 19. That
It was
wouldn't have.
tribal.
I was 23, I think it was, maybe 22. I was in Anaheim, California, had a friend who lived in Mission Viejo, I think it was. This is back in college days. And her name was Rachel. And she liked vodka too, but we like to mix it with lots of little things. So we made this drink called Rachel's Rose, which is the vodka, any kind you like. It shouldn't be flavored though. And then some kind of a lime flavor, either ginger ale or like a something lemony, and then
Ginger ale.
pomegranate juice, or
Pomegranate.
it's way better with the
Super fruit,
the most
right?
expensive kind you can find. That's your choice.
Has anybody
Thicker.
ever cut a pomegranate open? That's
Oh
also
my God,
fun.
I have.
Try
I was
that
in
one day, you
Cali.
guys.
My gosh, they're everywhere.
Or
But
again.
you then add some cherries to this, and I'm telling you, it's addictive. Like you want several, and that's something I never can order because people didn't get it right. But
Yeah.
Rachel's Rose.
Eating beautiful things in moderation. Just try it once or twice.
Right. No, it's something now that
But
like
don't.
I'm mixing bubbly.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not bubbly. Is it bubbly? What's the thing? LaCroix, whatever that.
Yeah, bubbly.
Oh my
Seltzer.
God, so good. That with
They do
vodka
club
and like
soda like a
oranges
nice.
and stuff. I love screwdrivers, but mine's a Rachel Rose. But okay, here's the next question.
Okay, so yeah, cocktails. Heck yeah.
Have any of you ever slept in a treehouse before?
Yes.
Really?
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
fucking
actually.
awesome.
Wait, is this considered a treehouse? I slept on pillars.
What?
Erected out of the ocean. It was kind of like an oil platform, but it was
Where?
a privately owned island.
That's amazing.
So it's just like I don't know. Is that considered the same thing?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
something
water
treehouse.
treehouse.
It was crazy though, because the
Wait,
treehouse
was
was
it an
rocking.
old fashioned?
Yeah, originally
Oh
it
my
was in the marshes of Louisiana, and it was formed with land bridges that brought section to section, and eventually the
incredible.
land bridges were overcome by water, and then eventually more and more of the land, and they would put the shells from their gatherings like shrimp, and it was actually mostly shell like crustaceans and mussels and things.
Right.
And they would just put out those shells everywhere, and that was most of the land eventually. And we would even throw like engines with no oil, like clean engine, like metals and
Wow.
things, like just to kind of fill the area. So when the waves came, they were resilient. And I actually drove pilings, and
Holy crap.
storms came by and wiped them out with like bare hands with chainsaws and sand sharks. Sledgehammers. Like you can pay a crane to do it $10,000 an hour, a barge, but we did it by hand, and it was a humbling moment, and I realized that I truly loved my my culture and my heritage, and I might be the last peer out there because I sat out there and bled, and it was inspiring. I did it for free, and it was some of the best times of my life. And I
Wow.
feel like,
Sorry it was destroyed. That's horrible.
yeah, we speak about the Egyptians breaking rock and gathering gold and things like that, and minor tasks that were greater for the greater good. And maybe that's what Egypt is a lot of people putting their blood on the line to make something realistic.
Right. We're going to have to allow me to showcase the Jean Lafitte episode very soon, guys. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Hi
I
there,
love
We
it.
Free TV, because they talk about how
All around the world, we're gonna
Louisiana
put
was
this.
so considered to the European land. They were told on posters and literal like decorative print, you know, their calligraphy saying, "Come to the exotic islands of Louisiana, New Orleans, because the New World is here and this is where everything's booming." And you would come there, and these people were fully dressed, and all of their peasant on like rafts in the water, right? Wasn't it very primitive, I believe? And you'd have
Yeah,
like the very fine
the
dress
basics.
with their gloves and whatnot. And
Imagine
they
coming home
were
after a
hitting
hard day at work.
bugs
There's
and
no AC.
killing
Like there's nothing.
snakes.
Like nothing.
Right. I can't imagine the
Some
smell and how
preserved
many
food.
people fainted all the time. That's where fainting chairs came in,
No
guys.
bath.
Right. No real running water. You're like getting the
That's what I was also
Mississippi.
experiencing when I was doing this. Like
Well, the Mississippi
we
Wow.
saved
wasn't as
rainwater,
horrible
and
as it is now, though.
You're
It didn't
right.
have as much pollution.
you
Well
guys,
said.
if you ever get a chance, take a shower in pure rainwater. Like some of my
Oh,
most
I love
depleted
that.
days after the most hard labor that I could experience. Like my mind was shutting down. I just looked at the floor when we were eating. Like I didn't have nothing to say. I was broken down, and something that inspired me is I was mentioned by the guy was a Buddhist, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he was just a spiritual guy that was also a laborer, and he mentioned taking showers in rainwater, and it was literally just water that fell into a barrel that we washed ourselves in, and he also made he used gravity to create a flushing system for the toilet, because if you have your water source higher than the toilet, you can flush without.
Incredible.
Yeah, he's like a mastermind of his own sort, and he just perfected what he was doing out there.
Mm.
So while I took the rain bath water, it rejuvenated my body simply because I believed that it was enchanted water in some way. It was untouched. It was away from humanity. You know, there's not
Mhm.
much thought.
I
Like
don't
it's all
know.
pure.
It's all in clouds, though.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
precipitation. So
It
that
could
makes
be
me like,
polluted.
right. That's where my mind
Yeah,
goes from.
is
Wait,
it
say
the
that again?
placebo? Polluted. It could be
Yes.
polluted. I was also in a place where there was an oil spill. You know.
Like, this is a different time. Like, different time completely.
Can we please, if anybody hears me, find something out with the oil? Like, let's keep mining it every day, but let's make it where it doesn't spill everywhere, or we make a major mistake, or we find it acceptable, or create a regulation where we can leak oil and it's regulated because it's under a certain level.
It's really, I
Too
feel, the
late.
chemicals that they use
Too
with it.
late. Well, let's stop now. Or
Spiritual
you know what I mean?
guides are
What's going
good
on this week? Let's
sometimes.
talk.
Thank you, We Free TV. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the chemicals that they use for fracking that really causes the issues. And it is like,
Fracking's wild. I'm
it's,
talking just
I
like
have
straight
so many
pipelines, like the
friends.
best way to do it. We gotta fix that too.
I
To
have
be
so many
honest.
friends that are hurrah, which are probably even listening, who understand that like they've become, it's like a person who
Shout out to
I'm
the
going to
oil
say it
field
like
too. It's
this.
extremely
It's a
hard.
person who depends on a credit card, right? You've used your credit card your whole life at this point. You have no idea how to go out into the world and earn cash. I don't know how else to put that. That's how
Yeah,
I feel about oil industry. It's become so comfortable with the lifestyle that it's like,
yeah.
as a Hollywood industry, buy a bigger house, have 5. They can't even afford the one. They mismanage their money. It's stolen from them, and the lifestyle becomes they're
Mm.
a washed out actor or something, when really they were just trying to keep up with the rest of them. I
But
feel that's the
the
society.
oil workers and things.
Yes,
Yeah, like
you
they're trying
heard
to
me.
get in the oil
They go
field. Like it's
on
kind of like a
10
cloud.
days. Isn't it 10 days on, 10 days off?
Oh
Like
my
that
gosh.
kind of lifestyle is insane.
Like being overwhelmed by your work.
Right. You have to
and
like
somebody's making like a crazy
truck
dollar
drivers-
to your point. Like you're
truck drivers do the
fraction.
same thing. Why are they so you know,
Why can't they have
isolated
it,
from like the demand since the pandemic also really has changed a lot of things. But
Wow,
it's,
like why I have food on my table that I like
right.
that's like consistent is because somebody drove it and
But
really
why can't
did
we
their
grow
thing.
it in our front yard? Most places in the
Yeah, as
United
well.
States.
That's also true.
Most
Sustainability.
hold on. Most places in the United States do not allow you to use your front yard to make a urban edible garden. That's actually
Or
against the
collect
law.
rainwater, much less. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're limited how
Can't
it's
use
so.
your land
What
in your
are we doing, people?
the
It doesn't
atmosphere.
make sense. Sorry to get on a tangent, but I
Who
feel
owns
like
the
it's well
atmosphere?
said.
Hold on a second. Like, yeah, I'm just catching water. Like, why is that?
You are right,
a
sir. We
problem?
Free TV. You are correct. I also am going to bring up.
Buying water on Mars. You heard about that one?
Which one?
Buying water anywhere in space that you can find water. People are trying to take it over and create contracts pretty much saying that this is how much it costs when you get it. Like, and we can probably get it for you pretty much. Like, there will be
Here, I got a
get it,
question.
possibly.
Here's a
If
real
not,
question.
we already own it and you can't have it.
I hope this is a no. You guys really can't tell me this has happened to you. Please don't say that. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you fallen out of a moving vehicle?
Oh my God, I have.
Have
No!
I fallen out of a moving vehicle?
Why?
I want to say a boat. I've definitely fallen out
What
of a boat.
the hell happened?
Wait, a moving vehicle? No, I don't think so, actually.
Good job.
I have. It was of no response. And I'll have to have
Ooh.
my dad on here one day to confirm it.
That's silly.
I was,
Terrifying.
oh my gosh.
Bicycle.
Tell it. Tell it, girl.
I was like 2.5 years old. It was right before my mom and dad parted, and they were fighting. And like in 88, 89, you could just put your kid in the front seat. We were in a truck, and we did a turn.
Oh, wow.
And I opened the door, and my dad almost ran me over, y'all.
No.
Yes,
Oh my
on
God.
veterans.
I'm
On
glad you
veterans, bro.
Horrible.
Yes. Yes. And then, like, he put me back in the car, brought me to my mom, and was like, take her, I almost ran her over.
Yeah,
He was like, I cannot be in control of this.
He like went and was a better man. Like by the next morning, he's like, wait, I need a second. Like, to
Yeah.
make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He said I opened the door. He was like,
was a
Shell,
good
you
man, but
you hit the thing and
he
you just
loves
rolled
cars.
out.
That's so scary as a parent.
Yeah. He was like, I
Imagine
felt
that,
like
he's
I
been
fucked
doing
up
this
that
forever.
day.
He's like comfortable, and like he has a daughter now. And he's like, oh no, she's like actually fell out. Like this is unreal. Probably
Here's the next question.
probably never did that again.
Yeah.
I've spent a night in jail. Dun
Never.
dun dun. Me neither. Thank God. I race a lot. I used to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have.
No.
long,
What did you do, boy?
Let's not even talk about it for now. It'd have to be a whole other
Okay,
podcast.
it'll be another podcast, like all of our experiences and fears. That's what I'm gonna say. I moved away from Louisiana because I didn't want to go to jail. I had premonitions of the lights because I was smoking. So I left that bitch, and that's what the fuck. I don't want any jail. That's why I live in Colorado. I follow safe access. That's a fact. Sad facts. Anyway, okay, you're not in jail now. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I've run away from home. Have any of you? I have not.
I have not.
You guys, come on, let's talk about we're
Did
talking
you?
about all right. Well,
Did you? How long? Let's hear about it.
I mean, there's a lot of times in my life when maybe I even created conflict for myself or people around me. Like, I don't know. I feel like people bring the worst and the best out of me sometimes. But
Mhm.
sometimes in my worst states, when I was learning about myself,
Mhm.
I met a girl one time actually. And,
Uh-huh.
it was at Mardi Gras, and we were both 18, and we ended up being in a relationship for like 4 or 5 years, I believe,
Mhm.
as I was growing up, and I would hang out at her friend's house, and her friend's mom would let us stay there and live there pretty much. So for probably about 6 months to a year, I was staying at their house, and I guess I ran away later on. I was 18, but I was
I
still
was
like a
18.
homebody. I didn't have any money or anything, like any type of stability to myself.
You were living the
I
life,
felt like I
sir.
was running away.
You felt like you're
Yeah, I felt like I was running away. She's, I bet you my mom's
now,
probably
but
like,
on a
heck
different
yeah.
tip, did your imagination play with you enough? Like, I'm gonna run away? Because I'll
Wait,
tell you
did
what.
I run away before that? No, actually I did. Yeah,
When?
I also came to Marie. At one point, I was just like, I gotta get out of here, and I flew on an airplane for the first time to get as far as away as I could, like to the closest person that I respected and loved.
He didn't run away. His mama knew he was coming to me.
Run away like when you don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
boy.
trying to run
If that's
you.
the case, I ran away several times.
I
If
went
my
on a
dad
vacation.
knew I was going and
Hey,
staying with somebody else,
all the
shit,
running
I
away
ran away
stories
all the
really
time.
went on vacation.
And I definitely ran away from my mama's house because I go right back to my dad's house. Like,
Yes.
screw this, I'm out.
That's hilarious. Yeah, people hate
Later. Okay. Has anybody been in a mosh pit?
Yes,
my
and I
gosh.
hated it. I got
I did
stuck
not.
in
I'm
one.
good. I don't want to die.
Actually,
I've
I've
never
got
run
stuck
away,
in
that's
one
good.
one time, and my dad was with me, like had to jump in, and then all of a sudden my dad's like swinging on
yeah.
everybody, and I'm like basically at my dad because like I am 5'1" on my very best day. Like I
Oh,
should probably
no.
say that now.
Oh, no.
That's my height.
I'm 5'2".
And I was also like 13, 14 years old. So it really made me not want to do it ever at Voodoo Fest.
Oh.
And my dad was fighting everybody. And my dad's such a Napoleon complex.
I mean, he's not trying to lose today.
No, he's not losing a day. And so then it's like, all right, Dad, let's get out of the let's get out now.
Okay.
Because
Oh
it was
my
like,
goodness.
oh God, I mean,
it's a hard
not
time.
cool.
Like I
It's
was
not
saying with the
cool.
car, like it's probably the same thing. It's probably like, what the heck? Like, like all these people are swinging on each other. My like young daughters, and I gotta like fight my way out of like a group of people.
Yeah, it was
it's
intense.
probably
It
overwhelming.
was definitely. It was intense enough for me that I've never, ever, ever wanted to get in one again. Never have.
I don't like mosh pits personally, but I could see why the culture's big because people enjoy it. But for me, when I first showed up, I was a young teenager and I didn't really enjoy conflict, And that's
Right.
what it was about. Is when you step in, it's a conflict. Everybody, you're gonna get hit. You might have a broken nose and lacerations to
Do
your
you
head.
think
Like
Buddha
it's
would
nobody's
love
fault.
mosh pits?
But
Oh,
at
heck
the same
yeah.
time, like you can have a good time in there, but you might get thrown
Hey.
around, stomped, trampled.
I have seen way too many documentaries of people dying and being crushed, so I'm good. I don't even need to try
Yeah.
that.
Oh, wow.
But when I showed up, I could just feel like this, like dense energy. Like I was like,
So-
wow, like, and everybody's like yelling, and it's all
What's
like
crazy is like people keep joining
it's a
in,
horror
so it's
movie.
almost like you get further
But
away.
that's
real
the fun
quick.
of
I
it.
hate it.
It's like if you like
It was a
horror and
horrible
shit, like
experience
you
for me.
enjoy this shit, like running around, like swinging
And
as
on
hard
the
as
slick,
you
I
can.
kind of felt like Pops did enjoy it, which made it even worse.
If you enjoy the dancing, like if you get good at hardcore dancing and shit, like you're just swinging or ska dancing and all that, like you're just swinging around and kicking, like you're not really worried about getting hit. You don't even notice when you get hit sometimes. Like you're just swinging and you're hitting people, and you're not trying to hurt nobody. You're just fucking
Intoxicated
swinging.
or non-intoxicated?
I don't know.
That's
Some
the
people
question.
have a
think
lot
both.
of. Some
Oh,
people have a
Sober
lot
people,
of aggression.
they do straight edge.
And they're not just hitting people. Just I think
There was a
some
big
people are
straight edge
really
move
like.
where they were sober and they were like I hate people that get intoxicated and they would go in the club or whatever mosh pits, and they would or venues and they would wreck it, man. They would punch everybody in the face on accident
Ah,
and then say they're sorry, like the next day, or like, you know what I mean. But they were just throwing down as their favorite band.
I don't know.
Certain drops that they had, you can look it up. The mosh pits, the biggest mosh pits and the worst mosh pits, or this and that. There's a few bands that dropped, I believe in like Warped Tour or something like that, or Burning Man. No telling, one of the greatest events, and everybody beat the fucking crap out of each other. Like it was it was like a fucking war.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
People,
that's just kind of
numerous
like
people
I don't
probably
know.
died. Like
It's
So
like, what
has
is the point of
anybody-
that? Like, I don't know. I don't like going to those events, but I can see some people like to throw hands and
Burning
like,
Man is a little better, except you better come with something to share. That's kind of the concept. You don't come there. Money doesn't work there. Like everything else works there. You come
What
in.
happened to Travis Scott recently at the
Yeah, but that's
Astroworld?
a whole nother nightmare.
Everybody was like
he had a
stomping
common
people out and
sense
stuff.
problem with it. He kept doing it over.
Is that
and
what
over.
happened? Was it a mosh pit? I'm questioning it.
It was just ignorance. I'm gonna say that. Like they were coming through the fence. They were like straight Warped
Sorry
Tour,
if that was too early,
you know,
because
and,
that
or sorry,
sucks.
not Warped Tour. What was
That's terrible.
Woodstock.
But
It's like
it's
99
just like the power of
Woodstock
the
all
music.
over
It makes
again.
people trip, man. Like once they hear the drop, they're like, they don't even act like themselves. Like your friends throwing hands and you're like, what is this? I
Have
want to
any
go
of
home.
you ever been mugged?
Yes.
Sharon,
What is
I
mugged?
remember. Mugged robbed you.
You remember when I got robbed?
I do, but tell the story. I think it's worth it. You need to share.
Is it worth it?
Yes, it's terrifying and stupid. And you were honest with the guy.
I was horrible.
You were like, dude, I don't have shit. What you got?
Well, he had the gun in my face. I was like, you really should have got me before I came. Okay, so I went out. Again, I am 5'1", and I had already had my son.
Robbing somebody with a gun that's 5'1", first of all.
Right.
That's kind of
the
wild.
thing
You're like
was,
a little.
The thing was, is I was with. How old was?
Little
Ken?
Snooki over there.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna just say Kennedy. How old was Kennedy at that time? Because he was like
18?
6'4".
We were all underage. Let's just be honest. We're not gonna get arrested
No,
now.
I wasn't. We were not underage.
I was.
No, you weren't. You
At what
definitely were
point?
not underage when this happened,
Definitely
because
at 15,
I'd already
I
had.
got into clubs. Absolutely.
I know,
got
but when
in.
this happened, I had already had Shane, because I remember
Gotcha.
thinking about that.
Then we were overage.
And it kind of made me. It made me stop going out with the person I was out with.
Yeah, I lived in California at this point.
Yeah, it had freaked me out. I was probably like 20, 21. I might have been 21 because I was drinking without a care. So, anyway, the guy that was with me was 6'4", and the girl that was with me, I would say, is about 5'3", right? And I'm the one he puts the gun on. I'm like, well, this is just swell.
He thought you were rich.
Oh my God.
That's a fact.
All the jewelry
and I had
the
a
fake
ring.
stuff you can buy in life, like, you know, like
Well,
you just wear all kinds of random
I
shit.
had
Or
my
if
dad's
you,
ring.
even if you're rich,
And
like
he
wearing
was
all
like,
kinds of shit, like,
give me the
people
ring. I
are
was like,
crazy,
yeah,
man.
fuck you. And it was a young guy. It wasn't an old guy. He was just robbing. He was trying to get money out of us. And these two idiots started pulling out money for him and stuff. And I gave him nothing.
No.
I didn't even
And then
remember
he ran
that
out.
part.
Then he ran off.
Oh, jeez. He's like, yay, got him pay.
Yeah, I was like, well, this was stupid. I remember
Person that
Pops
robbed
really
me is
reamed
no
me
longer
for that.
alive, though.
Oh, my God. You got robbed, too?
Yeah.
Lord have fucking mercy on these robbers.
That's New
What the
Orleans,
fuck?
baby.
He's passed away, and rest in peace. But he robbed me by a shotgun.
Wow.
And he robbed my friend, and he was in the house. Like, we were just hanging out, and I heard some noise in the bathroom, and I thought he knocked, like, my friend's rack off the wall, you know, where you hang your towels?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I hear metal hitting the floor? Like, what's going on?
God.
He was actually, like, cocking a slug in the shotgun or whatever,
Mhm.
and he came out the bathroom, and I was, like, trying to look out for my friend, so I was walking up to the bathroom door, to like kind of try and check him out, like, and make sure he wasn't like breaking stuff in this dude's house, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And as I walk up, he puts his shotgun by my face, and I'm like, dude, chill out, bro. Like, what the heck? I thought it was like a prop or something. I thought it was a joke, and it wasn't real to me. Like, I stepped into like a dream state, and I was like, I'm about to go open the door and get some air, cause like I felt like it was a whole unreal or some shit. Like, and he's like, give me all your money, give me all your money, give me everything. And my friend's like, shut up, dude. I got neighbors. Shut the fuck up. And he's telling the dude to shut up. And the dude gets all quiet and he's like shaking. And I could tell
Holy
he had
crap.
negative thoughts because he was like shaking and he had the gun all loaded and stuff. He was scared as shit. But but the thing is right before that, like I said, I want to get some air, and he points a shotgun at my face, and I walk out, to the door, and he doesn't like do what he was gonna do, you know. And I get to the
Right.
door,
That's
and
terrifying.
yeah, I'm just chilling by the door, looking out the door, about to maybe run for it, but I'm like, my homie's in here, like my good friend, and so they didn't know that he had a ton of money in the room, like he had a ton of fucking money in the room, but they took some stuff on the table. Dude had some money on the table, his wallet. Dude took that, and they walk out of his house with the shotgun,
Well,
broad
boy,
day.
did he get lucky that they didn't find the money.
And we
in the
had
room.
some herb in the ashtray, and they took that too. Like,
Well,
dude, like
What
his accomplice took it.
They were feeling
Wow.
like thugs.
Like, they tried to get everything they
They're
could.
probably little thugs.
I've got a question.
Go.
Let's lighten the mood. Have any of you ever pulled off a great practical joke? I'll tell my story if you guys tell yours.
Go ahead, tell it.
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to tell about my little brother.
Okay.
Well, when he was, I think, maybe 10, maybe 12, I don't know. He was young, right? I think 11 or between 10 to 13. He had to be under 13 because it was before Katrina. But I was really concerned he was going to go out into the world and have sex early. So I told him that if he had sex before he was like of age and with the virgin especially, and all the other things, like it was a complicated how bad the situation would be, that all he had to do was Google search gangrene and his stuff would turn green and fall off. And he didn't have sex until he was 16. I'm very proud of myself. Keep my head high.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was
It's
18
true.
story I told you.
I had a few
I did.
friends from high school, if they're listening. Shout out to you know who. One of our high school, Russell, if you remember, he told my brother, "Nah, man, it's true. You just gotta wait till you're 18. Everything's good, and then your thing won't turn green and fall off." And like he looked it up, he told me he believed it.
She was telling him his thing would turn green and fall off.
Oh, no.
Right. I stopped him
It
from
might.
getting early babies.
That's the thing.
It was great. Isn't that smart? Everybody take it and run with your kids. I feel like it's a safe move.
I didn't say that to either one of them. I can't.
I mean, there's different ways to do it, but I mean,
Isn't it
as
funny?
you get older, you learn about things like Santa Claus didn't land on your roof and come through your chimney, especially a fat guy. How does that work? Like, I don't know. It starts to like, as you get older, like I use a measuring tape all day. I'm like, how does
Right?
that work? Like,
Right?
Where's the?
No,
how do
I
I not hear on
remember-
the roof? I know how the place is built. Like, what
I
is going
remember-
on? Like, I know this place. I have weapons or whatever. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what is going on? Like, so you're gonna break in my house and give me something? Like, I'm just confused. Like, as you get older,
Right.
and then also you're the person that. No, I'm not trying to say harm somebody, but then also you're sitting in somebody's house, and you're placing the presents because you're Santa. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's crazy too. Like, you're sitting in your
How about the
family's
Easter
house, like,
Bunny?
oh, Santa showed
You know
up,
how
and
I
it's
put
you.
up-
So then you're lying. Like, what is that too? Like, I don't know.
You know how
like,
I figured
it
out
trips
Santa
me out.
wasn't
The
real?
whole
First
thing's
of all,
fucked up.
I was
Oh, under my
completely
pillow?
freaked
You
out.
got under my pillow. I'm like,
Oh my
no,
goodness.
thank you. I don't want to ever do that again.
So I was so
What the
paranoid
hell?
about Santa that like I was that kid that you saw like clinging, like no way am I going in. Like they would try to trick me to go to the mall, and then I'd realize it was Christmas time, and I'd be like, no, I am
Oh, I'm
not
not
getting
doing
in.
the Santa thing.
I was
No,
I was never into the
man.
Santa thing.
I've been like
So-
messed with as a child and stuff, and like, yeah, random people in public will get to touch on you and stuff. It's weird, bro. That's what happened to me.
Well said, we free TV. I agree with that statement. It's
Sorry,
nightmare.
I have a
So-
horse fly. If you hear a buzz, it's not your TV. There's a horse fly in my bedroom, and he's a jerk, and I can't get him. He's too quick. But okay. So here's a fun one. Has anybody ever been in an earthquake? I know I have.
Earthquake?
I've been in a
Not
mini
yet.
one.
Oh my gosh.
And a mini one, share it.
Some of them people don't even know about. We don't even hear it.
When I was in San Diego pregnant with my oldest son, there was a mini one, and like just everything kind of shook. It was very quick, but it was like, whoa, huh,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
I was in several earthquakes for the 9 years that I lived in California. The first one that I ever had was so scary because it was Anaheim, California, which this was a big one. I don't remember what year, maybe 2009, 2008. I don't know. But the
2008.
this damn bug
Where at?
in Southern California in Anaheim. And
yeah.
I worked at a law firm, and the filing cabinets at lunchtime when I came back were completely open. While I was on the road, had my
That's
music up.
horrifying, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was like
What
a
the
horror
heck?
movie looking, and all of the
Yeah.
acoustical tiles were hanging
Real
all
life
funny.
is that wicked or
Right.
wild, you know? It's
But
surprising.
I was driving a Toyota Corolla with not the best bearings at the time, and I needed new tires. So let's say that I was in this earthquake and it rattled me from 3 lanes sideways, and I was like just stopped my car, but it rattled me and I didn't know. I had the music on. I was looking at like the power lines, and it looked funny. Like I didn't realize there was an earthquake because I was listening to my own music, not the radio or anything. I get home, and where I'm living was Santa Ana, which isn't far. It's like 20-30 minutes from Anaheim in traffic. And I get home, and all of my roommates' fishing gear and stuff had fallen from the rafters in the garage.
Oh,
And
no.
all of
I'd be
my
upset.
candles were flipped over.
That's sad.
It was scary. Like,
It's
and
tough.
so like then the
Not to
second time
mention
an
scary.
earthquake happened, I was at a Chinese restaurant with an ex. He was having sushi and having sake, and we were all drinking. So like I thought I was first drunk, because everything was rattling. The table silverware slid off the table, and I didn't know what to
Oh,
do. So I
no.
just lifted my feet.
What if you just bought like a fucking Wagyu steak with like gold on it? It just
Oh
like
my
rolls
God.
off the table. You're like,
All these
"Nah."
the
There's
tea
no
ware
shit.
that was on the shelves started falling off, and I was like kind of having an anxiety attack. I was like, holy shit, it's all around me kind of thing, like as if the room was possessed. And I lift my
Yeah,
feet up,
it is.
and I grab the bottom of the chair, and I'm holding it as
There's
it vibrates away from the table.
Yeah.
And then I ran outside the store because my ex was like, go outside, and I like run outside and ran in a circle because it was still vibrating. We were having tremors over and over and over. And he was just like casually walking out, smoking a cigarette. I was like, this shit's insane. He's like, you're such a Louisianian,
We
I
had
was like
several
running in a circle. It was crazy. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Oh,
As
and
I was
then-
singing synchronicity, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
crazy as I was saying crazy. I don't know. This is funny.
so then
And
my
right before-
last major experience was in Long Beach, California in like 2014, I think, or maybe 2013. I had this brand new computer, 27-inch touchscreen, insanely expensive, good money. And the earthquake was happening in the middle of the night. I woke up, not dressed, go and grab the freaking computer and hold it as the earthquake
That's how
happened.
you do it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine breaking the house.
I
and
was like,
naked
I'm
or
gonna
something
salvage
that,
my
more
computer.
less likely. Like,
Yeah,
you're like,
man.
What's going on?
Yup.
I saw something on a meme one time. Dude dropped his pants in a fight, and it made
Oh,
it like
that's
look
funny.
like they were like, all right, whatever. Like, I don't want to do this.
Well, the wall
He's gonna
after
beat
that
you up.
earthquake,
You drop your pants. He's like, wait.
like the whole building had cracks in it after that earthquake, and I was like 6 blocks from the beach, so it was pretty insane that like the earth, and that's a major fault line in California, but I'll say that like it was just a whole nother experience. Like I was, after that third time, I was like, I'm good, I can handle earthquakes, but
California.
fires I hate, and hurricanes
Wait,
I hate having
spend
to
like
pack
over
up.
$1 million on a small space of land, like and
Right,
it
it's
gets hit with an
expensive.
earthquake.
Too much insurance too. We get that in
Oh my
Louisiana
god!
too.
Imagine that one. Oh yeah, the floods. Oh my gosh.
Heck yeah. Have you ever
Watch where you
personally
buy
cut out
property.
walls? I know
Look up the
you've went
history.
through a little bit yourself, Marie. Have you
Oh my-
ever had to reconstruct a house from a hurricane? From
Yes.
flooding?
Yes,
Yes.
several times.
It's surreal, is it not? Like people don't understand
Yeah, one time my roof
nature.
fell in
Even-
because of
Oh,
Hurricane Katrina, and I lost my
jeez.
teddy bear and all that. Yeah, it was
Oh, I
crazy.
can't wait to
We're
hear
gonna
the
talk
stories.
about
I'm
that
so
on.
sorry. That's important though. Like people don't understand that. Like
It was
I
gorgeous,
lost a
man.
whole lot
Changed my
as
life.
well. We'll be sharing, but there's, and I encourage you guys to share your stories if you're from the area. We will definitely read them out loud. You know, get a hold of me on Instagram, feature you as well. But here's another one. Okay, hold on. I had one. Have any of you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
No.
No, I'm a hell no. Hell no. Hell into
I'm
the no.
sorry, we are not in the 70s anymore.
Nope.
I can't trust y'all out here. No shame to the game. I'm gonna pass y'all by. I'm sorry.
Right.
Maybe if I was a dude, Tukey, have you ever picked up any hitchhikers?
Like in a car,
Yeah.
I've had to bring people places.
Have you ever hitchhiked? Here's the next
Oh, well,
question.
that's true. Uber's kind of like
well,
Oh.
I bring like random people. Like, dude was passing out my car, and I kept asking where to go, and like he didn't know where to go. Like
Scary.
he knew where to go, but he couldn't tell me. He was like,
No.
like he was at a loss of words to tell me where
That's
to
a
go.
kid in a toy store. That's bad.
And then he left like paraphernalia in my car, and that's when I
No.
realized I couldn't be friends with him because like I was at risk of
Have
like
any
my
of
own
you
life.
ever hitchhiked?
no.
I
I'm
think I
taking a
have. I
Greyhound.
don't quite remember. I think I might have. Like I think I might have had to before, somewhere, somehow. I feel like I have. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that. Okay. Because like I know in the 90s, definitely in parachute, me and my friends used to get in random.
I want to
cars.
say
Not
that
a
I don't
smart
think
thing.
that it's bad. I mean, I think that it's more of a safety precaution. It's like a
Right.
meme I saw the other day that said, you know, I had to explain. Some guy called me lazy because I take the elevator instead of the 3 flights of stairs, and I had to explain that there's no cameras in the stairwell, and that's how you know, people don't think about it.
Right.
So it's like, as far as hitchhikers, as a woman, you have to really be thinking about it, as a mother.
Yeah, be
Right.
safe for sure.
So it's like, I think I commend men or, women that are strong enough or fearless enough to do that, like to help somebody in need and pick up somebody that's hitchhiking and stuff. But I personally don't think it's a good idea for women and children.
Yeah, just be safe.
And
Even
maybe
men,
that's horribly bad for
when you let
feminists.
somebody into your
Right.
small area. It's a small area too. Just being in your car in motion, you're limited.
It's a private piece of property, and I've had my car broken into, and that felt like I felt like I had been actually
it's like letting somebody into your house.
When I lived in South Tampa, I woke up one morning and went, so like my apartment complex, we called it the Cozy, if any of y'all ever listen to this. And you had to park, and I had to walk through 2 apartment buildings to get to mine, right? so I couldn't see my car at night. And I came out to it, and the whole front windshield was busted in.
No.
I was like, oh my God.
Uh-huh. Okay, has any of you I think this is wait, I want to do a different one. Hold on.
Why are you laughing?
Okay, I want to ask this one. Has anyone ever mooned someone? I have totally done it. I did it all through Metairie. Someone else was driving. I had a great time. All through Metairie. I think we all went to Canada too. We never got pulled over. Thanks, Wade. Thanks. He's all about it. I think what's her name? Jessica Y was there as well.
Yeah.
I think we were both mooning. It was a lot of moon.
Oh, wow. No,
Have you guys ever mooned?
I have not. Tuki, have you?
No, I can tell you
Come
about some
on.
of that. Like, is having relations on the levee considered mooning?
Did you get in trouble?
I didn't do it personally. My friend,
Terrible.
me, my friend, and a girl I introduced to him. The girl bounced on the levee as the sun was setting and just refused to get off of him. So I decided I needed to head home at the time. I was like, all right, y'all go ahead and have a good night. I'm glad y'all met and all. I gotta get out of here. And yeah, so possibly they did, but no, I've never mooned anybody.
Have any of you ever lit yourself on fire? I have a fireplace story. Go ahead. Do you guys?
Go ahead, tell us your story.
Oh man. Shout out to James, my childhood friend who lives out here in Colorado. When I was a domesticated Californian in my early days, unfortunately, I had my roommates out of town and they had a great fireplace and it got really cold and I think it was even raining or something like that. Anyway, I didn't know you had to lift the thingy, pull the thing. I don't know if anybody knows in the comments. Anyway, I called my friend in Colorado while I was living in Southern California at like the age of probably 22 years old. And I was like, listen, I need to light a fire. I got no idea how to do this. Can you help me over the phone? This was before like video chatting was really, really big. So like he's telling me over the phone that I got to get some igniter. So he's like, do you got nail polish remover? I'm like, probably. He's like, put a little in there. I'm like, how much is a little? I put a lot. Okay. He says, take some newspaper. I'm like, I got a book. It's like, do that. All right. So I just now put isotope in the freaking fireplace with a book in a Southern California home with no thing open. And that thing, when I lit it, it burned my fire. It burned my eyebrows off. They were, it was horrible. And he was on the phone. He's like, you did it wrong. I was like, why are you calm? Something's not right here. And it stayed lit for a hot minute and then it went out. But it was so scary. I was like, I am good. So I like electric fireplaces. They're fantastic, in comparison. Yeah, I'm good.
Actually, we have a fire pit out in the backyard, and I can't wait for winter just because of it.
I'm like OCD. I keep a hose right next to my fire pit. When I do it, I don't have a good time. I'm like,
any comments on dry areas in your fire pits?
Oh, you love the stream? Thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening tonight. Yeah, it's great to see some new people in the chat. Yeah, I'll say, I have OCD from not OCD. I have anxiety. I have PTSD. I have PTSD from Southern California and all the raining down forest fires that happen in Anaheim and all along the 55 and stuff like that in the 5, because back in the day in the early 2007s, there was a huge arson fire that it snowed. Like I knew what Colorado snow looked like, but for your windshield to be moving it back and forth and it even looks still white like snow, and it was black in the background, which was such PTSD from Katrina to me. I'm good. I like fires, but much more rather like someone who's went through Boy Scouts or something. Right there, take care of it, But yeah. Okay, here's one. Has anyone been cut off at a bar? Have you been no more, you're done?
At a what? At a bar?
At a bar.
Oh my gosh. I know about people that might have, but I'm gonna
Okay.
stop being so
You could tell a
messy.
story as long as you don't,
Yeah, no
insult
names
them.
or anything.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, like
Oh,
when,
you have or you haven't? I'm sorry.
I don't think so actually.
I was
Been
cut
cut
off
off,
at
but
a
I've dated
bar.
somebody that got cut off.
They
Actually,
never
dated somebody
actually kicked
kind of
me out.
recently. It was
I
intense.
Tell it. Tell this
Right.
story, girl. Tell the
Boys,
story.
let me stay though, like, cause I wasn't like yelling at people and trying to start a fight or dropping shit.
Oh, jeez.
You just like keep your head up and don't lean on the bar. You know, there's certain principles.
Right. Oh, that's
Learn
true.
first.
They'll kick you out even if you lean down. You're right.
Yeah,
I
there's
had to
certain
hold
principles.
someone's head who had that what's that disorder where you fall asleep? It's not epilepsy, it's another one. But she
Yeah.
would fall asleep when she drank more. It was worse. It made it worse. And she would just crash out and her head would hit the table. And we would all just
Narcolepsy.
yes. And I would be like, girl, stop it. No, 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 no. And everybody would be like, it's normal. It's normal. And I'm like, no, no, this isn't normal. And I was
Normal to
holding her
pass
head up
out
because I'm like, she just hit her head on
in
the table.
public
And you
event.
guys are like, whatever. And we were at a strip club because one of the girls worked there as a promo girl and was like, hey, hold her head up so she doesn't get kicked out. And I'm like, did I just hear you right? And she's like, yeah, hold her head up. I'm like, why? And I'm not like, I hadn't lived in New Orleans for a long time at that
So you're
point.
waking this lady up out of her sleep. to
No,
tell
she was
her, like, what you do.
fucking asleep still. I'm holding her head up, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
like,
holding her
you
head
tried
up.
your best.
And
You-
the manager comes over and is like, is she passed out again? And the girls are like, yep, yep. And like, okay, you're doing a good job. And I'm like, I'm holding her head up. This is what we're doing. It was
Yeah, my
crazy.
friend had a seizure in the
That's
Burger King
terrible.
time, and I was holding his head up. And when he woke up, he thought I was trying to whoop his ass. He's like, "Did you
like
knock me out?" I'm like, "Bro," and I had to drive him home in his car because, like,
Wow.
yeah. But the thing was, is like he thought I was trying to beat him up or I knocked him out or something, or somebody hurt him. Like he was confused.
Ugh.
He was trying to, like, he was about to hit his head on the concrete. He wasn't trying to, but and I made sure that he wasn't. And
Wow.
you're supposed to lean them on their side, I believe, on the right
Mhm.
side, left side actually. So the heart's
Right.
like less compressed and the tongue is not like going down the throat.
Wow.
There's some people that put themselves in self-induced comas. The
That's true.
soma coma is what it was called.
Oh.
And they would lie and say that they weren't doing it, and then they'd get to the store and fall out, and we'd have to just keep going because it
Wow.
happened so much. And it was actually it was like an elder to me. It was a friend's
Yeah, be
mother.
careful when people are.
And it was just
That's
like,
so sad.
whoa,
Too many
yeah,
substances
it
in
was
life.
not good at all. And they would call, of course, the store would call the ambulance and stuff, but it was so embarrassing to that person's child that we would just leave.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was just, I mean, it's really sad when you think about it, looking back. You know?
Right. Okay. Has anybody ever tried belly dancing? How about you two, Key?
Have
Belly
you
dance.
tried belly dancing?
Belly dancing?
Yes.
Of course.
I have a
Who
video
hasn't?
right
Right.
now.
You
I
see
You
have a
probably
video.
tried to belly dance.
I
with
have.
me.
I
You
didn't
see
do it at
Peter
all. It
Pan
didn't
style,
work.
like, wait,
I
hold
tried.
on.
I
You're,
used
like,
the word
trying to
try.
Try it out.
I tried.
Dancing, period. You're like,
I
there's new
do
belly dancers
suggest.
out right now. Like, check them out. Like,
There
he
you
goes
go.
wild.
I do suggest you guys go purchase a Carmen Electra striptease video, though. They're great.
Oh.
If you want to get your mate in the mood, that's a great one. Okay. Hold on. Sorry about that. We have somebody backfiring and it was a loud sound. Okay. All right. I've clicked reply all when I meant to click reply. Let's talk about that story. Did anybody ever do that? Accidentally send something to somebody you weren't supposed to? What was the situation? I can tell a story. Go ahead.
Okay.
Should I?
Yeah,
Oh.
go ahead.
Oh, there's actually a video in my archive somewhere in this Chronicles that I will have to like find, but there is a true story where a friend of mine I lived with in my 20s worked at this law. It was a patent law firm in downtown Irvine. And hopefully she's listening to this podcast. Shout out to Jess. She was like getting this great bright idea as my roommate and a good friend of mine, my best friend, was like, hey, I'll just like take a picture, put it together on like a flyer, and like, I don't know, just send it to everybody in the whole building and see if they want to like date you because you're so
Oh, geez.
awesome. Yeah. And then it was corporate, it was big scale patent law firm, it was big, tight, required heels. Okay. No casual wear. And she did this. And I was like, I avoided for about 3 years an area of Irvine at lunchtime because I was so afraid that these people probably went to break and ate there. And my face was like not changing much. Yeah. Yeah. And it was across the street, like this pizza place and she'd be like, after it happened, everybody got the email. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever worked in an office. I know you have the experience, Marie, but have you ever worked in a situation where you had to look at an email and it said to you that everybody saw it? Had read.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what this was. She got to see like 500 people in a building see my face. And I was so upset, but it was funny and it was weird. Anyway, she came over a couple of years later in Long Beach, California, and told the story over. So I'll look for that video to link it because it's funny. But she almost lost her job. They were like, please, no more dating files. And she put it up in the break room.
Oh,
like
geez.
it was bad enough you forward that email. I'm good. Don't set me up. I'm great. It was so funny. Yeah, it was hysterical. Well, thank you, We Free. Yeah. Okay. So here's the next question. Let's see here. Okay. We've already answered that one. It says, have I had a bad drug trip? Do any of you want to answer this one again, maybe?
Of course.
Sir,
Like,
tell them
every time.
all.
I mean, if I say no, it's no. But yeah, I've taken substances and felt terrible. Not even a few seconds later, you know.
Ooh, I've only had a really bad. Honestly, trips for me. The only one that was horrific was acid. I have no interest in that because I just cried for 4 hours. I just literally cried for 4 hours. Like I was me. I hated it. And then my hands caught on fire. Like they were fire flames. Like I looked down, there were all kinds of emoji on me. It was weird. I did not like that. And then the first, maybe the third time I ever did shrooms in Los Angeles, California with an ex, he like left me in the car alone in my own car. And I had a Corolla, like a small vehicle. And when he shut the door, I went into the instant, like, kind of like your Beavis and Butthead trip where like everything caved in on me and I thought the car was eating me and I like freaked out like big eyes. As soon as he shut the door, it was like
you listen to one song, like your friend's like, let me put on a song.
Right.
And
yes.
it lasts for like 2 days.
I've shroomed and
You're like in the car staring at the center console. You're like,
Red Hot Chili Peppers is
like
one of those artists I cannot listen to if I shroom because like I don't know, take it away, it's so freaking weird, like I can't hear it the same. But there are actual songs I listen to have good trips because they actually induce a trip without doing the trip.
It's
I
like
have
megahertz.
songs. Yes.
There's like different levels of vibration. It's sound
fantastic.
wave. More or less per second.
Wait, what?
Beats per second and things like that. The amount of wavelengths per second of sound.
Right.
It's it moves around molecules and things, but
have you ever
at the end of the day, it changes like the chemicals in your mind.
Yes. My one song, Just Upon a Time, I literally, when I made it, was having goosebumps, crying erratically, totally felt like I was feeling what I was seeing in my mind. And it was so powerful. And then when I drove my car and listened to it driving, like that was probably the first time I ever listened to my music ever in the car, was probably the first time I was like, holy shit, like I'm doing the right thing. This is so weird, but I'm doing the right thing. It was very weird. out of body experience. And most of my music, as you could agree, people find that they induce a trip right away, which is weird. I don't know, it just does that. Thanks, We Free TV, for stopping by tonight.
Yeah, like you could be completely sober
Yes,
and listen to a
thanks.
certain type of music, and you feel
Right. Have
more
any of you
enhanced or
ever
different.
been
It can change
part?
the way you play a game or something,
Have any
or
of you ever what?
Have
social.
any of you ever been part of a studio audience other than this one? Like on a TV show, have any of you been on a live studio audience?
Not yet.
Not yet. No?
I
You've
don't think
never.
so.
How about a radio station? You've never called in to like. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my grandpa like always grew up like
On the
being.
ufology show.
Ooh.
Yeah, he like I don't know. I would walk past saying something while he's broadcasting or things like that.
I
Like
love
how
that.
was. Or no,
So you
I
come
listened to
from
most
roots of
all of it. It was
broadcasting, you
broadcasted
guys.
throughout the house as
It's
we
still
hung out.
broadcasted now, I believe so.
That's
Yeah, it is.
fantastic.
We'll
Yeah,
have to link
he's
it.
been covering a lot of topics.
Do you want to share a little information, or should we wait for a further
I'm honestly
broadcast?
not sure if I can because he has his own radio station. I have to get, try to figure out what's
Sounds good. We'll get confirmation and then let the viewers know in the future. Here's another question. Oh, I have been on a live broadcast. I was on MTV's Mardi Gras special, their first one. We had Britney Spears' voice coach actually work at our high school, and she happened to be, I think, my science teacher. I can't remember. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like 2002, and we got to see Gwen Stefani and Mystical and Outkast, and who was the other? Britney Spears. There was somebody else. Outkast was amazing. Mystical was interesting. And it's funny because I just heard Mystical's there's something we're gonna actually feature him in the future because I saw a documentary recently. It's very interesting. But Britney Spears, that was at the time that her movie had just come out. And like to now know what she's went through, it really does give better perspective because I was extremely judgmental back then and thought she was a snobby bitch. But like I've heard that, but now I feel like she was overworked even back then. It's pretty insane, like to see her. Yeah. Sorry about that.
You never know what's going on in somebody's life.
Right. And I heard her sister was there. And I think her sister was like maybe 10. She was young. Okay. From let's see. I had another one. Have you ever done a backflip?
No.
I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
In the pools is the easiest.
In
Really?
the pool, yeah. But not in like real life on a mat now.
I did a backflip off a roof one time. I'm
Mm.
not good at it though.
I don't
Have
have
you-
that much faith in myself like that. I'm just not about
Well, the way I do backflips,
I'm not about injuries.
it might
no,
not
thank
be a
you.
perfect backflip, but
Oh, and on a trampoline, yes.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say back in the day.
Richard,
Oh,
you're
that's
doing
funny. I'm looking at a card. It says, "Have you ever done trampoline
I did it onto
trips?"
like a mattress when I was like in middle school. But I would lean to the right a little bit and kind of like do like a somersault or something or like a cartwheel, but
Let's see.
towards my back.
Have you ever had to break into your own home?
Yes. God.
I have when my child.
Yes,
was
I was on
young.
the phone with Marie one time and she was out of town, like far away, like 12, 13 hours away. And I'm like, yes, I just locked my key in the house because I was talking to her and I walked out, locked the door. I was going to the store.
Oh my goodness. Have you guys ever passed out in a public place? I have. Harris Casino. It was not a good situation. In front of everybody. The
Nope.
medics woke me up, gave me a little blood test, sugar tests. It was not a good situation. Yep. And I bounced up. They're like, "Do you want a medic?" I'm like, "No, leave me alone." It's totally I had not
that's
eaten. I
horrible.
was low blood sugar. It was bad.
No, I don't think I have.
Good. Let's see. I've pretended to enjoy a homemade meal. Oh, that's a fact. I'm a vegetarian. It's hard sometimes, people.
Ah,
Like when you go to someone's house and they're like, "Yeah, you love it. You really love it. It's vegetarian." You're like, no. How about you guys?
To be honest, yes.
Yes, sadly. No names.
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Has anybody ever touched a koala?
No.
I have not. I'm good. I don't need that. Let's see. Looking. That's when we did. Have anybody ever been on a cruise? I have not.
No, I've not, but my son has.
Aw,
No,
jealous.
I never paid for a ticket, but I've been in the ocean for days.
Oh my gosh. Here's the best one, and we should close up tonight. What do you think?
Okay. That sounds
So,
good.
has anybody ever had a legit paranormal experience? Let's just say one tonight
Yes.
and tell it. Each of us.
Oh my gosh!
You go
yeah.
first.
I covered a couple in previous episodes.
Yes.
If I want to check it out.
Let's
but
share one we haven't shared tonight.
yeah, very possible.
What you got? I'm going to plug my phone in. Sorry, guys.
If Marie wants to go first, she can. Or you?
Let's see. Well, let me think here. I think my scariest, I think I've probably talked about it a little bit. Maybe I know that I've had some action. Let's hope that it doesn't happen on this live. But I have actually recorded several episodes on my own that, oh, Mackenzie McCarty. Thank you, Mac, for joining us tonight. In St. Rose, Louisiana. When I was about 13 years old, I'd already experienced things here in Parachute, Colorado, but in St. Rose, St. Rose, Louisiana, it's a whole, what would you guys describe it? It's the boons. It's
Yeah.
third-eyed people, some of them.
Well,
But it's on the
yeah,
levee.
there's just a lot of space between properties, and
Right.
it's just a lot of it's out of the city limits. Almost.
Right. Well, I had already experienced ghost things and came from such a religious family that at this point in my life, I thought, oh, I can watch a ghost thing and I'll just I'll tell people how to do things. And so I'll just be the initiator from afar. They can't fuck with me. Ghost. That's how it works. Ghost at 13, thinking that's how it works. Yeah, they're like, haha. So I had never actually even been introduced to the concept of a Grim Reaper yet. Okay, so just take that one in. All right. I didn't know there was such a thing. I was young, but I was sheltered because of the Christian part of my upbringing. So I'm in St. Rose. I'm living in this really small location. Mind you, all the time, our cordless phones would cross over and intercept and hear things over the interception.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where you
signals,
get
that's,
used to it,
the best
but
place to find.
it felt extra sometimes. Like, you know how you could intercept someone back in the 90s and actually talk on their call? Remember that, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you still can if you do it.
Yeah, okay. A Bluetooth, it works that way. All right. So I'm in this house. It's nighttime. I'm with some friends. They decide to do a summoning, which is black card, red card with your regular deck of cards. And you look at the aces and whatever, and the higher cards mean yes, no, whatever. It's interpretation. It's similar to tarot, but whatever. Well, I had seen it done a million times. And every time I had ever played that game as a child, I was like, holy crap, things would happen. So at this time in my life, I'm hanging out in St. Rose, Louisiana, coming with the experiences from Colorado, and I play this game. I think we were talking to John Bonet or something like that, and Lincoln and stuff, talking silly, right? And I see something in the corner of my friend's yard that had red eyes, was very tall,
Oh, no.
had a head, and then
What
the
did it
house
look
started
like?
rattling.
I'll
And
tell
then
you if I think I know what it
I
is.
freaked out and I was like, we gotta go. Like, I want to go. Like, my
Was it
little
a
Christian.
raccoon?
No, it wasn't.
A
It
wolf.
was paranormal because when I got home, I had some friends walk me home. You know how St. Rose or like that part of the area gets really foggy at night?
Yeah.
Okay, and it gets so thick that you can't walk and see. You ever walked in it where it's literally in front of
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fog. All the
Driving's
conversation.
one thing, but
Missing.
walking in it's totally fucking scary. And where I lived
It's
was like
weird.
right on the wood line that had like I can hear it to this day where it was like the frogs cricketing and crap. And it's nighttime. We're walking. And I'm like telling myself this is nothing. Okay. I get home. My friend calls me and is like, there is something in the backyard. I see it. Now I see it. I'm on the phone and the phone starts like having this rap song. It's like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to kill you. Now, if it was somebody that was in whatever, it's one thing or another, right? Okay. Then I go to like hang up the phone with her. My
Like
back.
you just finished
Hold
watching the
on.
Scream movie that just came out.
No. I go. This is like 1996 or no,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
2000. Not even that. Hold on. Let me think.
You
I was
guys.
13, so maybe 2000 is before I moved to you guys. It was before I moved to Metairie. Anyway, okay, so this strange shit gets weirder. I go to the house where I live. I'm on the phone with my friend. I hear an interception of like a rap song I've never heard in my fucking life. It's weird. The lyrics are strange. My friend gets creeped out. We hang up the phone. We're teenagers, in the 90s, whatever, 90 teenagers. Anyway, we hang up the phone, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, as my mom's asleep, as my little brother's asleep, the washing machine that wasn't on starts shaking hysterically. Like it's not on. It wasn't on. And then my radio is playing, but it's not on. It was one of those boom
Oh
boxes you
yeah.
had to
You know
switch
how many
over.
like electrical things I've had
I
happen?
pulled
Like
it
the
out the
gaming
wall.
system turns on, or like the TV turns on, or
Right.
like music starts playing or stops playing
Right.
after I say something or
Hold
something
on.
weird. Like it's like what the fuck, and I just think to myself like, oh,
That's
that's
how I
nothing.
know it's
And I
real.
forget a
No,
lot of things.
for real. So
Like
then
I have a lot of paranormal
my
experiences.
mother was very
Right
religious,
off.
very intuitive. I'm sure that's where I get a lot of it too. Anyway, the washing machine woke her up. She comes out in the living room. I'm freaking about the radio. I'm like, this is and I'm like, Mom, I'm crying. I'm like, in the blood of Jesus, because I'm scared. I'm a little Christian girl. Like,
Yeah.
I fucked with the devil. So the radio is unplugged. In the dialer, it was the kind you had to turn with your hand or turn on and off physically. So the dialer was moving back and forth in front of my face. I'm not hallucinating, not on drugs. I'm straight looking at this shit, unplugged, moving, playing. And my mom says, in
Oh
the blood of
no, man.
Jesus. She walks into the living room where I was sleeping on the couch and is like,
That's
because I
wild.
was scared to sleep in my room. Like everything was so scary. It was by the washing machine that was banging. It woke her up. She comes out and she says, don't you, or she says, what have you done? What have you done? Because she knew it wasn't. She felt it. She felt it was something. And I was like, I don't know. Somebody was playing with cards, And she's like, next morning, she anointed the doorways, had said, all the things to denounce the thing out of the house. And I'll tell you, I believe that was my first, just one of the first that were like a guaranteed, I believe it. It's real. This stuff's real. If it can control electronics not plugged in, hell yes, sir. Go on. What's your story?
Yeah. Like
Right.
the paranormal experience when I was talking about the hermetic principles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had an experience last night. I was speaking about synchronicities a few minutes ago, just slightly.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about Greek alphabet and numerology and things like that, and I kept seeing sevens pop up, and they were prevalent just in my life in general, like even my birth date and stuff. And
Wow.
so it was one of my favorite numbers, and so I'm playing the game last night, and I mentioned it to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, today was like my 7th anniversary or something, or my 17th anniversary is the guy at work," and then my friend was like, "Yeah, it's my like 7th year at work," and they're two
Holy
different
crap.
people. And then I was playing Call of Duty. I got 7th place. Like on my first game, it was weird. As I was mentioning to my friend that I was mentioning numbers in my life, and they were 7s.
Shout out to Mac in the chat. This is very, very personal to her. I don't think I told you personally. I only mentioned it briefly in the last podcast that we were talking
Yeah,
about spirituality, but
like numerology.
she has proven it, like
Mac,
receipts, random
shout
stuff.
out
It's
Mac.
insane. Much respect to Mac in the chat. No, I mean, like, when was it you started seeing that personally? You can, like, the earliest memory you remember seeing synchronicities with 7s.
I can go on that in a second, but at like
Mm-hmm.
work today, actually, it's been weird. Like the more that my life has come together and made more sense, like I have more synchronicities. Like it's almost like I'm in a finer tuned version of myself, just
Heck
slightly.
yeah.
Know? I've stepped into like a different area of myself, and I guess I'm having affirmations letting me know that this might be a decent idea or
Direction
something.
to go. Do you believe in that?
Damn straight.
Do you believe that you receive
Numbers.
downloads with angel numbers?
Well, yeah, potentially that's very possible, and I can go on that too. But like, I was thinking today as I'm working, I'm up on a ladder doing some things, and I'm thinking about one of my leaders, how he has one arm that has like all these darker tattoos, and he has one arm where there's like this Latina chick like dancing with like a hat on, and like there's Mother Mary, and it's all positive music and stuff.
Powerful.
Yeah, and then the other side's just like dark. I can't even hardly make it out, but I could have swore it was like some demonic stuff. And then as he's
Right.
like, as I'm going home today, he mentions that he's like, "Yeah, this arm's demonic. This arm's like, you know what I mean? He's not saying demonic. This
Wow.
arm's my dark side. This arm's my light side. Like."
Holy crap. That's just
And
confirmation.
I thought about it like 2-3 hours before it happened. After that, I played the game the night before that was telling me all the 7s. Like it's like, okay, I'm
Wow.
completely losing it. That's not happening, or I mean,
Mhm.
or yeah, it happens. It's all coincidental, but it was perfectly coincidental for me,
Mhm.
and I think that's called synchronicity because synchronicity is a coincidence of personal significance. These
Mhm.
moments were
Living
significant to
confirmation.
me.
That's how
And
I
there
feel
was
about it.
many years that I didn't have synchronistic confirmations of my existence. Like I was questioning things and this and that. But when I made a turn that was sharp in my life, if it was proper, I was given numbers and things. Like even a flight I might have took, like if I did the numerology on it, it led up to like certain numbers. And it was
I
all
feel
too
that way
strange how the
about
world works.
astrology. That's how I like when I found out exactly the time my son was born, I was like, okay, what are we dealing with? And like, and most people's children too, and relationships and whatnot. I feel like though it does, if it's powerful to you, then it has meaning. Like if it really does feel like it's a reminder you're on the track you're supposed to
Yeah,
be,
don't
then you're
lose your
supposed to
mind
pay
that
attention
that's
to
like
that.
the ultimate reality. But yeah,
No,
if it gives you a spark in your eye, like wait, that's like a gem in your life. Like it makes sense, you know. It's for you.
I
It's a personal
agree.
message. It's you talking to yourself. What if you are the universe trying to like hand something down to yourself? It's like a little twinkle. It's
Hey,
reassurance in my
I want
in
to
my opinion.
I want to mention before the end of it, because you just said that, we are going to be covering some Stephen Hawkins and doing reaction videos to some of his, because I also did review recently a Steve-O podcast that has a lot of the same concepts you are just so on tune with, Tukey. So I'm excited we get to share that with you guys in the
I just
future.
like
Go for it.
reality, you know, just
Yeah,
studying
quantum mechanics at its
or
finest
theory,
Yeah.
not
and
even
law of
necessarily reality, just
nature.
theory.
The law
Yeah,
of
laws of
nature is
nature.
so
That's true.
beautiful. Like you started
Once again,
covering it a little
yeah,
bit, and I think we're gonna unveil so much.
this isn't scripted. That was random.
No. And then let's see. What's the other one? I think I want to let everybody know, if you guys are paying student loans, you're deferred until December 31st, thanks to Biden. So at least if you guys are worried about that coming up, we're at the end of the month. If you didn't know, we will be covering a video on potentially like some of the stuff we've experienced from the pandemic over the last few years. Like, I mean, I would love to hear your guys' stories over the last 2 years, like the moments of what the hell.
Right.
Like, I think that would be a great podcast, just being like, this was weird. You know, this didn't feel real. Like, I remember haggling with somebody over a counter, being like, can I give you some extra cash to give me that bleach that I see that you have? Yeah, I haggled. It's sad. And then I gave that bleach away. I couldn't get with it.
Lord.
But yeah. Yeah. But we appreciate, like, honestly, all of you guys commenting and saying hello and all. Do you want to end with your awesome story, Marie? Your ghosty story. Show us your ghosty story.
I like.
I love ghosty stories.
Have you ever?
Do you remember your
ever?
storage unit?
Do you want to share that one? Well, what's your experience
stuff
from
about
it?
people.
Because mine was weird, but you are in your own perspective of it.
So we were going to your storage unit and we didn't know if everything was destroyed. Do you remember that?
It had been 8 years since I had come back since Katrina.
Yeah, you were feeling real emotional and you hadn't seen any of the stuff. I believe your mom had packed up a lot of it.
Actually, my friends had after Katrina. They went through my grandmother's house and boxed all of it.
Well, somebody had done something.
Right.
That was an intense time for me.
Right.
And closer that we got to it, remember it was down Airline Highway way down.
Yep. By the airport across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember after we had gone, it was a little bit further than across the street from the airport. Like you had to go down some.
Yep.
I remember that because once we passed the airport, I was like, "What is going on?" Like I felt, and remember I was like, "This is this is wild. This is wild." And I was
you told me you saw it before. I remember that. You were like, "I think I've seen this before. I think I've seen this before."
Yeah. As I was getting closer to it, I was kind of like, something's not right. Like I was getting deja vu, but I wasn't.
Exactly.
But I wasn't in deja vu. Like it wasn't like I've seen this in a dream. I was like, no, something else. Yeah. And so then remember we got in there, and when we first opened it up, I think somebody stopped and talked to us and told us that it was dry before we had gotten to it.
Yeah. Okay. So you tell me, and then I'll correct you. What you remember, because the guy that came up to us was after we already opened it. We were already going through it, and he came over and was like, "Can I shake your hand?"
Wait, stop. When we first went through it,
right?
I'm pretty sure that I know that a person walked up after, but I remember because we were like, "Okay, it's going to be dry," and we opened it up, and all of these wasps.
Right. They were like, and we both said, this is a little bit extra. Oh, can we even do this? Is this even something? Because see, I was living in Southern California, had no intentions of moving back to New Orleans. And at that point was just trying to get everything I could that my mom had died. I was trying to get what was left over from my childhood and whatnot. I was boxing them up, but I had to go through the storage unit to downsize into a smaller one. So that's what it was. They hooked me. I had to talk to the people. I was like, can I get a smaller one? They're like, yeah, here you go.
Maybe that's what we did in the beginning. I'm not sure, but I know that we had talked to people because I was under the impression that it was going to be dry. And then all of a sudden, after the wasp flew out, all of a sudden something was there talking to me.
Yep.
And I kept telling you, I was like, something's here. And like I'd had experiences, but I'd always
that
family around.
Yeah.
And like this was the first time that it was like, okay, I was cornered. I felt very cornered, and I don't know
emotional
if you remember that.
too.
I was very cornered, and then it started telling me to tell you what was in the boxes. Remember that?
And I was freaking out because I had already spoken to my mother in California and said out loud, if you are hearing me, prove to me you're real. Show me this box. And there was a particular box I asked Spirit or my mother to show me. And this lovely mediator right here, an advocate of Spirit, Marie Tarot, 504. She was like, open that box. So I think your mom wants you to hear. And I started getting emotional because I was like, what? I hadn't told her. And it
No,
was
not at all.
it was my mom's journal, which if
What?
Mac's listening, she knows about that, which was very big. And then all of my mom's videos of my childhood, because that's what I initially asked out loud to Spirit, saying, I need to hear your voice again, Mom. It's been too long. I'm starting to forget who I am. I need to see my baby pictures, Mom. And that was the first box, which is also weird because if you remember, I started freaking out because I was told it didn't exist, that those videos were destroyed because they were on the floor in my bedroom. There was no reason those videos should have existed. Like the box had a crack in it and everything, but it floated to the top since Katrina. And
Your mom definitely talked through
it
me a
was
lot through
crazy.
that time. Because do you remember that one time that we had to drive all the way out to Slidell and go through all that stuff? And like,
Oh my gosh.
she was talking to me a lot through then. And I was like,
That
what are we doing?
experience in the woods, I think, was like, okay, in our personal experience, now that we know more facts from the situation, would you
Yeah.
agree that we lived a parallel situation? Because he told me, my brother told me that is what happened, but he got out. He was going to hurt him.
Yeah.
So I feel like what we saw was his energy.
Yeah. It
We
wasn't good.
saw a premonition of my brother while he was missing. Right? Did you not? I did. We were so creeped out. We had to like shake it off. Remember that? Whew.
All the midnight drives we did. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, that was different. A lot of places where they were like, "Sweetheart, you're in the wrong neighborhood. You have a nice car. Get out of here." Remember that? Scary.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that okay, so let me explain that because we're getting off subject. Sorry. So listeners, the guy who walked up to the storage unit and asked was like straight. It was like I don't know that movie, but it was like a giant African American guy comes over and he's very like domineering, but not in a negative way, but comes over and he's like, "Can I shake your hand?" Like not hello. Just runs over and says, "Can I shake your hand?" And he was the caretaker of the storage unit place, and apparently all the storage units had flooded except mine, which was very strange because they did after Katrina was just lift them with a crane and see if they had water come out. And mine did not. And all the others in the area did. Was just interestingly good for their insurance purposes. But, and like, they never notified me they lift my crap from a crane. And Marie was right there listening to him. We were looking at each other like, this is weird. And like after that incident happened, whether you guys believe it or not, we can't undo the memories. I can't undo the memories. I was throwing things away in the dumpster and we would walk back and they were there again.
Mm-hmm.
They had been left right in front of where we like a time warp fucked up moment. Like, and then I was too uncomfortable and I was like almost like I remember purging so much shit after that because I felt like that shit was just too much. Just too much.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. So yeah, like I don't know, if you guys believe in that kind of stuff, that you have to kind of experience it to almost really be changed. Like I can't unsee. Let me just say, I also had handprints on the outside of the window of that house in St. Rose the night that everything was shaking. So I think because I later in life I was like, oh my God, that had to be a Grim Reaper. Like it had to because it was tall. It's like 7 feet tall, like huge, like a tree, like almost like not a cypress, but like a pointy, I guess a cypress. It was very weird. But like demonic things, I stay away from all of that. Denounce it. But what do you feel? Did it make you more of a believer, that experience, Marie?
No, I think I was already a believer. That was, again, just the first time that something had made me talk to somebody outside of my family.
Right. And no, like after my mother passed, I remember you being very open about like that you felt as if I wasn't wrong that I felt her, like, because I had felt her, but I was like, as a friend, like, confirmation. Am I crazy? I feel something. Am I feeling this weird? And you'd be like, no, I do feel something, but as time would go on, you'd be like, tell me little things that my mom had said to you, which I appreciate, but like kind of confirm that I don't remember exactly. Do you feel like sharing it, what my mom said to you, or no?
No, not tonight. We'll have to do
Okay.
it
You have to
different.
do another night. Yes. But anyway, this has been the longest episode we've had, and I think it was a fun one.
Definitely.
I appreciate you all listening. Thank you all for watching and listening. Definitely share out the video if you enjoy it. We will be back on tomorrow, correct, my dear?
Yes.
We have another lighthearted episode. Maybe we'll do more of these. These are fun. I'm really glad. Like, see, you could really make it naughty if you're like in bed. It says, I've been stuck in a chairlift in bed. That would be bad. Anyway. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. And until next time, have a good one. Bye.
Be blessed and blessed be.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.